Pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
It's big, Neil. It's bigger than both of us.
Bond is back, and he's older than ever in Oldfinger.
If I could only pull this trigger. Damn that arthritis.
007 has added numbers 529123 for Social Security benefits and has traded in his outdated gadgets for his brand new high-technology ones.
This bedpan acts as a bulletproof shield. It can take all kinds of crap.
Not much has changed over the years.
Why, Miss Moneypenny, you're still voluptuous as ever.
James, that's Miss Money Dollar now. The cost of living, you know.
Recent Playboy centerfold Katerina Witt stars as the Russian spy.
Now that's what I call pushy galore.
Sean Connery, still sharp as a tack.
That's Bond. Or just call me Bond.
Oldfinger, playing in senior citizen centers right after Matlock.
Oi!
10:02 at 560 WQM. Happy Tuesday. It's a monumental day, a monumental moment on this show.
Oh!
Today is the 29th of February, 2000, last time we checked. Happy birthday, by the way, to all you leap year people. Leap on this. But at any rate, today is the end of February, which means tomorrow is March 1st, which means today is the end of 24 years of
Oh, God!
this show on the radio in this market. Let's hear it for me, huh? Yeah. How sad. But at any rate, before we get into all the big stuff today, what big stuff? Here's the result from yesterday's poll on our website, neilrogers.com. And I don't understand how some people say that they're clicking on our neilrogers.com and they don't see the poll. How is that possible? How can anybody click onto the same website and not get the same thing? Is that possible? Huh? No. So maybe whoever told me that, my friend Ron from Philadelphia, the Flyers fan, maybe too much Beezer is what the problem is. Maybe it's getting to your mind, Ron. Too much of that Beezer. But anyway, yesterday we asked, do you agree with the not guilty verdict of the New York City cops? And this is the way it came out. We had 317 votes. And you notice a little bit less than usual because it was Monday. Never realized that before. No, that's the first time we took a poll on Monday, like everything else. They don't have time on Monday. Do you understand? They don't have time.
Maybe they're just not as passionate about this particular issue.
Or maybe
They stunk.
that might have been it. Like the monks
They stunk.
and the Panthers
They stunk.
and the size of that crowd.
They stunk.
Well, what would you rather see? An exciting hockey game, although it was exciting if you were a Buffalo fan, or would you rather go see a bunch of 7-foot freaky Schwarzers elbowing each other up and down the court?
No contest.
No contest. Let's go see those Schwoes, baby.
Oh!
Yeah! Let's go watch the Schwarzers because it's the Knicks and the Heat and the Heat and the Knicks and the Jets and the Dolphins. Same old tired crap. Oh, this town is as predictable as the weather at the goddamn South Pole. Anyway, we had 317 votes, and winning, of course, was the...
No.
211 said
No.
they don't agree with the verdict of the jury. That's two turds. And, of course, the other turd...
You turd.
106 said yes, they do agree.
Yes.
33.4%. So almost exactly 2/3 to 1/3. 2 to 1. Saying they don't agree. Now, that's kind of interesting because in our local newspapers today, look at this, the Herald, and when's the last time I agreed with the Herald? What year was that? What century was that? Once in a great while, which goes to show you that if they throw enough crap up in the air, sooner or later, they'll get one right. But the Sun Sentinel, a disgusting, grotesque, and unacceptable editorial today, just verdict, but questions remain. It sounds like that fascist Nazi pig Rudy Giuliani may have written this. The Sun Sentinel. Keep in mind, the Sun Sentinel is owned by the Chicago Tribune, rather ultra right-wing, not as right-wing as the Sun? Isn't it the Chicago Sun, the right-wing tabloid? But almost. Very stodgy, conservative. The Herald, though, says the yellow verdict just is not yet served. Says with its verdict, the jury has spoken for how much the law can bend to protect the right of defendants. Now it's up to Attorney General Janet Reno and Justice to protect victims and ordinary people. I'm not going to read the whole thing because, quite frankly, it would be boring, terminal, like most of everything you find in our local newspapers. But the Sun Sentinel says, is it possible for something very bad to happen without anyone's being to blame? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. The Amadou Diallo tragedy may be a case in point, says the Sun Sentinel. Is it possible to render a just verdict and not achieve full justice? Unfortunately, yes. The Amadou Diallo tragedy may just be a case in point. I won't waste your time with the whole thing, just the first couple of paragraphs. Now that a jury has found that 4 New York City police officers charged with killing Diallo were not guilty of the crimes with which they were charged, it's up to the city of New York, its police department, the federal government, civil courts, and finally the court of public opinion to decide whether the 4 were guilty of anything else or whether anyone else was. To do so, they'll have to traverse a minefield of political pressures and warring agendas. There's that agenda again. Unlike the jury in the O.J. Simpson case, this one did not seek to put the system on trial. Jurors carefully followed Justice Joseph W. Teresi's instructions and rendered a true and just verdict as to the charges against the 4 officers. A true and just verdict, says your Sun Sentinel. They listened when the judge told them a police officer should not be considered the aggressor just because he gives chase or pulls his gun. They did not fall for the palaver, which George never heard that word before, and I'm not sure I pronounced the crap. That's palaver. That's a big highfalutin word for, make no mistake about it,
Crap.
Yeah. They didn't fall for the crap about the number of shots fired, who's counting at such times, nor expect the officers to be mind readers. They understood the cops sometimes must make split-second decisions about whether and when to use force, and that such split-second decisions with lives on the line are never easy. And then there's a whole bunch of other crap. How do you like that? They didn't fall for the crap about how many shots were fired. So what the Sun Sentinel is trying to tell you is that if they fired 41 shots or 150 shots or 350,000 shots, it didn't make any difference. Does anybody with a brain believe that? No. What a stupid, talk about palaver, whatever the hell that means. Talk about a bunch of
crap.
God. They must be doing drugs over there at the Sun Sentinel, you know what? These are the same people that give us a song and a dance about baseball and how this town can't survive without baseball and how much it adds to the community, and both newspapers with their crap about gambling and how gambling is evil and yada, yada, yada. And if you want the point spreads, turn to the sports section. Inconsistent, irrational, hysterical, idiotic. Bunch of stupid.
Idiotic.
Exactly. Couldn't say it better myself. They didn't fall for the crap about the number of shots fired. How about the fact that most of the shots were fired after he was already in a horizontal position, falling, and then a whole bunch of shots after he was already down, through the bottoms of his feet. Now, like I said yesterday, maybe they had feet-seeking bullets. That might have been it. Yeah. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was really standing when he got hit with those shots. It's just that they used feet-seeking, not heat-seeking, feet-seeking. And they went like right under his feet and then moved straight up, like we said yesterday, that magic bullet that Arlen Specter invented back in 1963. Just absolutely unbelievable, the lengths to which, and you talk about crap. Yesterday I'm watching the news and I noticed that none of the stories that I saw in the news last night are in the paper today, including the one about the Hialeah cops that were selling ecstasy to minors, to kids. Selling ecstasy to kids. And while some of you people out there may think that ecstasy is in and chic and yada, 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 and maybe you're raving about those, the fact is that there are kids ODing and dying on it. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right.
I'm sure they were only selling the good stuff, though.
Yeah, that's right. The good, pure stuff. No, the pure cops don't sell impure crap. Pure cops sell pure drugs. Let's hear it for the pure cops. And then I'm driving home yesterday, and here they got in Plantation on Hiatus Road. Guess what they got? They got the little game going again there. The radar porkers out there once again. So you can give me all the rationalizations you want and all the bullcrap, but this was grotesque. I'm going to go up there and say hi to Al Sharpton. From a long distance away, by the way. I'll wave to him and give him one of these. 9 minutes after 10 at 560 WQA.
No portion of this broadcast may be reproduced without the express written permission of WQAM Beasley Reed Acquisition Corp.
I didn't say
Hello, I am Ilion Gonzalez. The reason why I am calling this press conference is so we can talk about the media circus that has gone on for a few good months now. I know that I am only 6, but I read at a 38-year-old level. So I'd like to issue this speech that I worked on along with my team of advisors. Very often when one delves into the infrastructure of these rather narcissistic and oftentimes deconstructionistic government propagandizers, one feels a deep sense of sorrow. And it would be in the best interest of all parties concerned if we simply allow a young man of my years to revel in the innocence of youth rather than be a political pawn for those of ulterior motives. Thank you. Please excuse me, I'm late for my GQ photo shoot.
Okay, it's 10:14 at 560 WQM. Have a nice day, Elian.
Today on...
Now, what the hell is that all about? We have continuous play on here now because somebody was
I
dealing with
didn't
that? Huh?
Wasn't me this time.
Somebody was in here diddling with our equipment yesterday. Maybe we want to hear that. Do we want to hear that? Maybe a little later on, like I said. So here it is, the last day of 24 years on the air in Miami. I got one call on the board, and I have one idiotic, incoherent fax by somebody who's obviously dropping acid as he wrote this. I wish you could see this. I mean, just absolutely the most idiotic. I wouldn't even waste my, and it's signed Jefferson Davis. Is that incredible or what? Is it
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of epitomizes everything. Although I'll say it again, my appearance at the Seminole Indian Casino on Saturday, that summed up all of my 24 years in this town. That was it, like right in a nutshell, in a capsule. That was it, right in front of my face. Sitting in a sea of death. It was just, I can't get over it. I can't stop thinking about it. I have never seen, and believe me, there were some nice people there. We all hope to, we'd like to live to be 100, 110, 150, whatever the best we can do, with some reasonable sense of coherence and understanding of what's going on around us and the ability to breathe the fresh air. Even a little bit of stale air wouldn't be bad. But I have never in my life seen anything quite like that. If somebody would have sneezed, it would have been, we just woke up 150 people over there on the West End. Incredible. Here's our first call on our last day of this year. Does that make any sense? Well, I mean,
No.
Well, it does to me, in my own twisted way. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Yeah, I don't want to start off today by being an agent provocateur, but don't you think this is kind of setting a dangerous precedent? Every time there's a decision that's maybe not politically correct, they seem to find more ways to continue trying the people that they felt.
What do you mean not politically correct? What does that mean?
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, it would seem that everybody disagrees with this shooting of this guy up in New York, which I don't know that much about, and it seems incredulous that they have to shoot the guy 41 times.
Yeah, well, if you don't know that much about it, then why would you have an opinion on it?
Well, I don't. I'm not using this case. I'm just using.
I mean, Rodney. How many years ago was the Rodney King thing? And they had a civil trial, and they had the Justice Department came in. They had a federal trial. This isn't something brand new.
Well, no, but I'm saying it seems that every time something doesn't seem to jive with what the public perception of what should have occurred, it seems that the government steps in and says, well, we're going to try these guys on civil rights violations. I don't remember the government
every time?
Well, not every time.
How many of those cases can you name me? How many have we had in our lifetime?
Well, let's see. We had probably the Rodney King.
Yeah.
And then this one, apparently.
That's two. And there isn't any. There's nothing going on with this one yet. It's all speculation. So that's one.
Okay. Well,
how many more?
I guess that would be the only two I'm aware of.
Well, then, so why would why would you make that statement then?
Well,
that every time something is politically incorrect, this hasn't got anything to do with politically incorrect. This has to do with police overreaction and with an unacceptable verdict.
Well, don't you believe everybody has their day in court?
Yes.
And if they're found innocent?
And if you're going to ask me, do I believe that the jury system works, I would tell you absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No, I would. This is one more proof that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so then what are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying, if you, God forbid, you should be accused of a crime, and then you go to court, you get found innocent or not guilty, whichever way that works.
Yeah.
It's not even true.
Well, how about O.J. Simpson?
Well, that's a
he was found not guilty in the criminal trial, and in the civil trial, he was found responsible for the murders.
Right. Well, do you find that those two things are kind of opposite of one another? In one court, you found not guilty.
Yeah, I found that they were opposite. In one court, they had a circus and a game that was played based on race, and in the other trial, they had the facts came out.
Well, do you really think this?
And he was forced to testimony and fumble and bumble and blah, 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 like that, kind of like a George W. Bush with a darker complexion.
Well, I would agree there, but I don't, like I said, I don't know the specifics of this case.
Well, listen, read a newspaper and a magazine and call me back when you find out. See, there's nothing worse. I mean, if you're going to make an argument of it, then starting out by saying, well, I don't know much about it, then why are you talking about it? I mean, I realize talk is cheap and it's a talk show and it kills some good time. Thanks for killing some time, sir, and thanks for being the first call on the last day of whatever this is, the rest of our lives. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Look at this tremendous reaction here after last night's great Panther loss. I'm surprised Fat Boy wasn't waddling around here this morning. Yeah, how about those Sabres? Oh, Pally. Surprised we didn't see him. Not disappointed, surprised. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks.
Hey, dead men tell no tales.
Yeah.
That's why they shot him so many times.
Yeah, that's right.
They
We're not going to hear his side. That's absolutely correct. We're not going to hear his side of the story.
They shot him in the feet? That's the first time I heard that.
Yeah, because they shot him after he was already down on the ground. They kept shooting.
I heard the lady yesterday talking about they had expert witnesses on saying that all the officers had automatic weapons, and it's very easy for them because they fire so rapidly to empty their guns in a matter of a few seconds. So, but I guess all of them
semi-automatic weapons.
Right. I guess all of them had itchy trigger fingers.
Well, how come two of the cops fired 16 times and one of them fired 5 and the other one 4?
I don't understand it. I can't even explain it.
Overkill, if you pardon the expression, overkill.
And then they had all
if you want to disable somebody so he no longer was a threat, assuming that they thought he really had a gun, if you want to disable him, fine, but you don't have to hit him 19 times to disable him.
Right. I mean, I can understand maybe shooting him a few times.
I mean, it's like the Rodney King thing. How many times have we seen that videotape? And no matter how, here he's surrounded by a whole bunch of these cops, and they got him down there on the ground, and they've got him subdued already. And every time he took a breath, every time he tried to move, they're kicking him and they're battering him. And it's just nice.
Right.
Police brutality.
It's probably the adrenaline was flowing. As soon as
adrenaline was flowing, right.
Right. As soon as one guy shot, they all just started squeezing it.
They were squeezing it all right.
Hey,
okay,
you know what?
sir. Yes.
Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
I've recently had to drive up to Miami. I've moved out of Miami a couple years ago up to
nice
Broward.
One. Yes.
Unbelievable. I can't believe I actually ever lived in Miami. The traffic on the Palmetto and Dixie Highway is the worst.
Yeah.
But
we got the Metro Rail.
Took me 45 minutes to get from 836 to the Sawgrass.
Yeah.
45 freaking minutes. Unbelievable. Anyway,
stay
happy anniversary.
Okay, thanks. Stay out of date. That's my advice to everybody. Stay the hell out of Dade. We just barely crossed the county line here. We don't want to intrude too far. Stay the hell out of Dade County, if you know what's good for you. Do you know what I mean? That's right. Brutal cops, corrupt cops, overkill, cops whoring out little girls, cops selling ecstasy and other drugs to underage kids, or to anybody else for that matter. It's interesting, it would be one thing if they're really selling drugs to adults, but they have this thing with selling guns to get. And then, of course, you got the case of that kid down there in Kendall, which the trial is on now. The cop took him in, and then he shot and killed him, and they said he tried to sexually molest him. And the other party, they say, well, no, it's the defense says, no, that's not true at all. He just had a temper, et cetera, and so on. See, a good cop is great, like a good doctor is great. Now, you find a few for us. Yeah, that's right. A good cop, a hard cop is good to find. Isn't that what they always say, something like that? 567. How's line 4 doing today, by the way? I just want to check because it would be really bad. See, it sounds okay to me, doesn't it? Or does it sound like, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. 5670560. Here's a call in Gainesville. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir?
This is a pattern of police problems all across this country. I mean, there's a general problem overall, and as soon as people start realizing that, then maybe something will get done about it. But
like what?
I don't know what they can do. Better screening for cops. More promoting college-educated cops instead of just anybody walking in who wants to thinks it's cool to walk around with a gun in a bag. I mean, come on. I mean, something has to be done. I mean, they have a lot of they have a lot of pull. They have a lot of discretion and things. And
they have a lot of pull, all right. They were pulling it a lot in this case.
I don't know if you've heard of this or not, but you heard about this incident in Jacksonville with the woman at the Hardee's?
Yeah.
Oh, you heard about that?
She got splattered she got pissed off. She was in the drive-thru and she complained to the manager that she was treated rudely. And so she went back, and the woman who she accused of treating her rudely splattered the hot oil. They showed her on TV. They showed her burned puss and face too, and then she attacked her with a broom.
Yeah, I heard. I mean, I was listening.
She must have been emulating those cops in New York with a broom handle. Maybe she thought she was going to do a little number on her or something like that. With that broom.
I was listening to the radio this morning, and that was the biggest news in Gainesville. Tells you how much,
I would imagine. Yeah, what else is going on there?
How much? I mean, no football.
Besides the price of weed went up and the price of gas.
And I mean that was just unbelievable. I'm still trying to get over that. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's because we're barbarians and we're increasingly uncivilized to each other. And have a great day, pal.
Okay.
See ya. We're barbarians. No, not all of us. Like me and George, we're not barbarians, are we?
No.
No, we're nice, decent
sometimes.
folks.
I am.
Yeah, like what? Well, I'm not talking about when you see your mother. 5670560, pound 5C, that's personal. That's in the family, and I can understand that. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I've been listening to you for 20 years, and you're 24.
All right.
I go back a long ways. I really just want to say I really appreciate you being here in South Florida. I know you're going through some tough times right now with getting calls, but we're out here listening.
Well, I'm used to it. I mean, on and off. It's that's been one of the great things all through the years is trying to get a response out of these bastards. It's like trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip. It's hard to do.
Yeah, so guys like me, I'm out here working in the service industry. You know, pretty busy. I listen on my headphones all the time. But I called you back a long time ago. I used to be Ron from the music store in Pompano. Called you many, many times. I used to call every week then because I had a lazy-ass job and I could, get on the phone and up the China with you. But what I wanted to say about the killings, the killing of that guy there, these cops, I think, they're actually trained, from what I read, to empty the chamber in that situation like that because you said yesterday, I think you touched on the fact that the caliber of those bullets, like they're not allowed to use hollow point bullets that will stop a guy. And
yeah, and that's what some of the callers said, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds to me like if that's the case, I mean, it's like, under those circumstances in a panic situation, you kind of, I think there should have been like a charge to those people, but maybe not, the murder, and they should be fired for sure. I mean, just because of the fact that it's a bad situation, maybe given a part of their pension and fired, not just get away with it completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like a medium type of thing. But also the thing with the, you said shooting.
Maybe like lightly killed.
Yeah, well, but you said shooting in the hand. Now that is ridiculous, Neil.
No, not in the hand, in the feet.
Well,
you mean about shooting the?
Yeah.
Why is that ridiculous?
Well, because first off, they're not trained to do that. They're trained to shoot for the largest portion of the body.
Why? Why is that?
Well, that's just how you're trained. Because under a situation like that, you don't have a chance or the time to react to hit a small area like that. You just can't do it. If you've ever shot a gun at a shooting range, that's just almost impossible
Works
to do.
on TV every time.
Well, that's the
Works
thing.
in those cowboy shows every time.
Well, that's the thing you're looking at.
They need to get with Marshall Dillon, man. They need to get with Wild Bill Hitchcock. They need to get with Gabby Hayes. Have a great day, pal.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you. By the way, how about Pavel and Anna? That's Anna and Pavel and Anna. Now we're talking, baby.
Oh!
That could be our poll question. Which one is prettier? Huh? I'm not going to do that thing about the Broward. We'll come up with a poll question for today. That thing on the Broward Strong Mayor, it's boring. And Wayne Hypinga, I can't imagine why he'd give all that money for the Broward Strong Mayor. A lot easier to twist the arm of one guy than a whole bunch of commissioners. You know what, Wayne? Is that right? Yeah.
We're the bomb. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Get Bush.
The Republican Party, they are still behind George W. But while you were fighting for our country, he was doing a line or two. 6 1/2 years of your life, you were a POW. And all the while your wife stole prescriptions, and John McCain. I bet you think that we will vote for you, John McCain. You are still better than George W. Aren't you?
So many of those, like they start out great with such great promise, and then it's kind of like they ran out of material in the middle. Well, that's okay. 1032 at 560 WQM. McCain attacks religious rights. Oh! Let's hear it for John McCain. Does he have a brain?
No.
Well, let's hear it anyway for John McCain. Attacking the religious right. That's right. Ripping the crap out of Pat Robertson and Jerry Falwell. Do we like that?
Uh-huh.
You bet. Those religious fakers, those obnoxious, disgusting scumbags. The same people who love George W. The same people who... And, of course, they've said that he's too moderate. He's trying to appeal to the moderates and bring them back to the Republican Party. And Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson and people of that ilk say, we don't want moderate people. We want all fanatic, rabid, hysterical people like us. And, of course, those of us Democrats are just salivating at the prospect of that, saying, hey, guess what? Because you're a tiny minority, and that's just exactly what we need to see. Because you won't have a goddamn Chinaman's chance in November, will you?
No.
No. Just like in 1992 when Pat Buchanan got up there. and made that rabid, hysterical, homophobic, bigoted speech of his, and everybody said, oh, my God, he's serious. See, I hate to break the news to you out there, those of you people who are very politically naive. The other guy was talking about politically correct, politically naive. See, on the one hand, you've got the Republican voters, but on the other hand, you have the Republican Party itself, which has allowed itself the time delays and all these other right-wing fanatics. The religious of Pat Robertson and Jerry Falwell and Ralph Reed. All these obnoxious Gary Bauer. They've taken over the Republican Party. We don't have a two-party system anymore. We have one political party, which is mediocre at best, the Democratic Party, and then we got a bunch of rabid, intolerant fanatics. That's why if George Bush wins the Republican nomination, in spite of what the polls were showing for a long time, and by the way, you've noticed already, that's all evaporated. Have you noticed that? Yes. They wouldn't have a Chinaman's chance. That's what Al Gore said, because he's got those Chinese guys on his side. You know.
Only $50.
That's right. So he can attack the religious right all he wants, but what he doesn't understand is that if George W. wins the nomination now, he's going to have to really kowtow to those right-wing fanatics. Isn't that interesting? Like I said yesterday, he sends that letter to Archbishop O'Connor in New York. Oh, well, what I really meant to say was I oppose interracial dating. I oppose, what is it? I don't know what I mean to say because I don't understand what it means. And who are all those dark people out there getting pissed off? Birds of a feather go down the drain together. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks so much. Happy anniversary to me. That's what I say, even though it's not till tomorrow. Let's get these calls started today. Let's kill 2 days with it.
You know, last night on Larry King Live, they had Rudy Giuliani, and he said, were you surprised about the Diallo verdict? And Rudy Giuliani's response was, unfortunately, sometimes these things happen. And,
crap happens, yeah.
And to illustrate, you know, what he stands for is life is cheap in New York, I guess, when you're Afro-American.
Yeah.
Hey,
listen, he's not just picking on Afro-Americans, even the hot dog vendors. If they get back out there in the street, he's going to have them blown away, too.
Was he instrumental in running Al Goldstein out of town or up when he had his businesses up there?
No, that all predated Rudy.
Oh, okay. Well,
and Al Goldstein wasn't driven out of town. He just given him a hard time, which he likes a hard time.
Okay.
He doesn't often get one, but he likes it.
Okay. Have a nice one.
And back to you. I don't think Al Goldstein and Rudy Giuliani are cut out of the same cloth. If you catch my just Al was cut out of a bigger cloth. Like maybe that Joseph's Magic Carpet, whatever that thing was that Donny Osmond was doing. And by the way, you missed Tom Green on Donnie and Marie this morning. And I love Donny Osmond. He's a really good guy. I had him on a show years ago. And after I had my stroke, he actually called me at home. Remember, did I tell you that?
No, you never did.
Called me to see how I was because he had heard that I had a stroke.
Sweetie.
Yeah, he was right. And gave me his home number in L.A. at that time, which he don't live there anymore, and I don't have the number anyway. But he was a very nice guy, and I like him, and he's not one of those real goody two-shoes Mormon types, you know. He's got a good sense of humor. But, like I was telling George before, as soon as he told me to turn on Tom Green, and we're really, you know, Tom, we love you, but get off the Monica crap already, okay? Please. Get off of that fat bitch. But I'm just a little bit tired of hearing about Donnie and Marie's psychoses and his problems with stage fright. It was interesting the first time. You know, it was okay. But after the 700th interview, it gets a little bit old. And now what's she going around talking about? What's her problem?
She's got some neuroses.
So, yeah, she's got some neuroses, like she can't count the money fast enough, something like that. God. Like you said, we should all have such problems.
I'll trade them right now.
Yeah, right, exactly. Just like that stupid article by Dan LeBastard yesterday. Oh, it's shocking that more athletes, that some athletes aren't like this. See, I hate to break the news to you, Dan LeBastard, but most athletes, the preponderance of athletes in all sports, aren't a bunch of scumbags, aren't going to jail, aren't being suspended. So what's really astonishing is that a scumbag lowlife like you would write a disgusting column like that, and what's even scarier is that maybe some kids out there would read that thing. What a stupid, idiotic bunch of swill that is to write. The excuse maker. Like I've told you before, scumbags suck up to other scumbags, just like Dan LeBastard. Making excuses. And by the way, Darryl won't have him to kick around this year. Let's hear it. Oh! And they'll be protesting about that, too, because Steve Howe was white. Remember Steve Howe? Remember him?
Uh-huh.
He got 9 chances like the ever-ready cat, and Darryl's only had like 5 or 6. So I think that some dark folks are going to be running around the street saying he deserves at least another 3-4 chances to get even with Steve Howe, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. What a crowd we had at the Macarena last night. Did we have a crowd?
No.
Maybe 10, 11,000. Well, they packed them down there at the Mickey Arena because it was the Heat and the Knicks and the Knicks and the Heat. 19,000 plus screaming white people in there to see a bunch of 7-foot schwarzers banging it around. And we had 10 or 11,000 people last night at the Macarena to see another very, very depressing performance by the Panthers. But hey, you know, every team goes through their skid, and they've been having one for like the last, 2-3 months, something like that?
Uh-huh.
Let me say it again. The Monks.
They stunk.
The Monks were 0-4 with the Monks.
Oh!
With that stupid song, which they've cut it way down, but there's still a monk up there with a bell.
Oh!
Oh, man. Everybody I asked to, I said, what do you think of these Monks?
They stunk.
That's the response from everybody in the Macarena. But it's up to you guys, okay? Strictly up to you. Like Rick Nelson would have said if he could be here today. See, he ain't running around telling everybody out about his problems. Rick Nelson. 21 before 11 at 560 WQM.
Come on, baby. Come play with these titties tonight on an all-new Judging Amy.
I give her a 6.
6? Try a 4.
Yeah, I guess her hips are pretty big.
That's nothing. Hey, turn around for us, would you, honey? Look at that.
Oh, I missed that before.
Yeah, see? 4.
4.
That's tonight on the new and improved Judging Amy.
16 before 11 at 560 WQAM. Happy Tuesday to you. Yeah, see, I was talking yesterday about the Jennifer Lopez dress and the fact that it's only the nipples that are verboten. You can show breasts on TV, but not nipples. And what the hell was I watching yesterday? Oh, that's right, it was Guiding Light. And Michelle, who's getting ready to go back to jail for the rest of her life, she's lying there with Danny, and she unbuttons his shirt, and there is a nipple, a teat and a nipple.
A man nipple.
A man, yeah, and like I've said to you many times before, how come it is that a woman's nipple is supposedly erotic and sexual, and a man's nipple, according to the TV people, is not? Which I got news for you. 567-0560, pound 560. I mean, it's just so stupid. It's so pathetic. It's part of the refusing to grow up of America. And I guarantee if you went out there and took a poll, okay, there's a good poll for today. Should full nudity be allowed on TV in America?
Oh, that's going to be an easy one. Our perverted crowd?
Well, we'll see. Should full nudity be allowed on television in America? Yes or no? I think you might be surprised. Oh, the children out there, what if they see people naked? Oh, gee, I sure hope you don't have any mirrors in the bathroom.
80%. That's my prediction.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see about this uptight, constipated country of yours. Oh, that's right, you're an illegal alien, I forgot. 567-0560, pound 5. Don't blame him. He's not a citizen. Here's a mobile in Cape Coral. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is this Cape Coral?
Sounds like it to me.
Hey, Neil.
Got that Cape Coral buzz on the phone line.
That's right. You know what? Apologize. We have a new mobile, but it's working all right.
There's nothing like a Cape Coral buzz.
Yeah, man.
But anyway.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, we came up. We don't know a lot about politics, even though we're almost your age, because that's not important, because any candidate would do. We came up with an idea.
Yeah.
All right. We love George. We listen to George when you're gone, and we love the show. But here we go. Governor George Bush Jr. for president, and Darryl Strawberry for vice president. And then, Neil, I don't get better than that. Now, listen, we do love George Bush. We love all the candidates. But what do you think about
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line? Let's take a, what do you want? Where the hell was he? In some bumfork place, Cape Coral? That was where that kid was, wasn't he? The one that sent the threatening email to the girl in Littleton, Colorado? The one that saw the guy blow his brains out a few days later? Oh, no, there's no violence in America. You're just a goddamn sourpuss. Why don't you just leave right now, Neil, you son of a bitch? Get the hell out of here. Screw you, Neil. Like that guy said, that kid that day. I'll never forget that as long as I live. It was great. It made my balls twitch. It was so exciting. Screw you, Neil. No, I don't think so. I mean, just aberrant, violent, barbaric stuff. Just like the thing at Hardee's. Now, of course, if you've ever eaten those biscuits at Hardee's, you understand why somebody get pissed off. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, unless you're a card-carrying redneck, Yahoo, although the woman that got burned, she looked a little rednecky to me. And, of course, being up in Jacksonville, she must have been a redneck, right? Right.
I like Hardee's.
Now, I do like Hardee's. What are those those shroom burgers they got? Isn't that the place that has those?
The roast beef ain't bad.
Haven't had one of those in years. In fact, when we were over in Tampa, remember those glorious days when we had to do a week's worth of IOD shows in Tampa? And I went over to Hardee's. And hardly even know that it was there, that you ate it. That was pretty good.
When we go to North Carolina, at least once or twice. Got a Hardee's right there in town.
Yeah. Do we have Hardee's here?
No.
No. Do we have, what's the other one we don't have here? Well, we don't have Jack in the Box.
No.
Steak and Shake?
No.
Yeah, now whatever happened with that, by the way? We finally got Godfathers up there on Davie Road Extension, right inside the Hess gas station there, right by 595 and Davie Road Extension. The Great Godfathers, which one of these days soon we'll get some pizza from them again, one day when I'm eating. See, if you want to lose weight, I got a greater suggestion for you. Stop eating. No, seriously, stop eating.
You should write a book about that.
Yeah, that's the Neil Rogers diet. How much am I going to get for that?
Loan me $50.
I doubt it. Yeah, stop eating. Just eat very little. In fact, the one way, this is the truth, because I read it somewhere. My mother's always saying that. I read somewhere. Yeah, that means it must be true, Ma. But, no, seriously, if you want to extend your life, the only known way, because they have all these life extension things, you know, and all these, like the one guy up there in Hollywood I used to have on here who's like 35 but looks like 90 because he's extending his life. But the only way known so far is to eat fewer calories. How do you like that? Fewer calories. Which flies in the face of Atkins, for example, because Atkins has got anything to do with calories.
No.
And beef has got although I did also read that yesterday, that beef and like chicken, no difference in calories on the same portion. Same exact, see, that's another myth.
Oh, the red meat, it's going to kill you.
Yeah, another myth. Remember the Myth America pageant? Well, there's another myth for you. Cutting down on calories is the only way we know to extend your lifespan. Cutting way down. Look at what it did for Karen Carpenter. 5670560, pound 560 on the 18. Well, she may have overdone it just a little bit. Just a little tiny bit. But she had a lovely figure. Here's a mobile in West Palm Beach. Hello.
Yeah, you know those cops up there in New York?
Yeah.
Maybe they can resign and go to L.A. and get a job out there where they're framing all those people.
Right.
I mean, it's not like we've got all this room in the prisons for the real violent ones. Let's just go out and create some more.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Governor Bush gets elected as president, he can deport some more fascists like Uncle Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And you know our
How about Uncle Remus?
Oh yeah, but our Supreme Court has been reinforcing.
I bet you George W. and Uncle Remus get along real good.
Well, you know that the Supreme Court keeps giving the police more and more power.
Yeah.
They can search you. They can stop.
Right, that's right. Just on a whim. Just whenever the hell they feel like it.
So, before it gets better, it's going to get a hell of a lot worse.
Right.
And they used to have an old saying, off the pig, maybe that'll come back.
Okay.
All right.
Whatever you say. Is he talking about that? Anyway, dove il passaporto. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, 877-785-6345 on our world-famous out-of-town line, line 9, for Fort Myers and Port Charlotte and Naples and Sonesta Key. And speaking of Dick Purton, which we were yesterday about the $750,000 he raised for charity, we haven't heard from Dick in a long time, have we? Maybe he just doesn't take any vacations anymore. He's too busy raising money for charity. Which reminds me, speaking of raising money for charity, we're all done with Center One. I just mentioned that in passing. So if we do a best of this year, which is still up in the air and dubious, if we do a best of, how about the Daily Food Bread Bank? George, you don't seem too enthusiastic. Didn't bat an eyelash. No?
No.
Okay. Well, give me an idea. Give me an example of a
family planning.
Family planning? That's the name of a charity?
Well, I mean, there's lots of charities that fall under that category.
Yeah. How about an abortion clinic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things like that. What's the name of what am I trying to think of?
The name of what?
Planned Parenthood. That's what I'm trying to think of.
But Planned Parenthood is a charitable organization?
Oh, yeah, sure.
It is?
Yeah, free birth control, free abortion.
How about, I got a better one than Planned Parenthood, along the same lines, just a little different slant on it. How about my favorite charity, forced sterilization?
There you go.
FS. Yeah. FS keeps you one step away from PMS or something like that.
Planned Parenthood gives you a North.
Well, we'll come up with some ideas. I'm sure our audience will have about 50,000 suggestions. Oh, give the money to our charity. Come on, Neil. You can raise about $1 million for us and have another one of those great golf tournaments. See, there is something wrong with line 4. I don't want to be a party pooper here. And it sounds in the beginning when you first punch it up there, but then after about 2 seconds, it starts doing this again, okay? There really is a problem. Oh, and that's another thing I should mention today, is that we were promised, even the attorneys got in on this one, tomorrow is the 1st of March, okay? It's an early Ides of March for Beasley Broadcasting because we've been promised, and it really was only a coincidence. It had nothing to do with my 24th anniversary on the air in Miami. It was just a coincidence. We're supposed to have our brand new, high-tech, the best in the universe phone system tomorrow. Oh! Yeah, with none of these phone problems that we've suffered through for over 2 years here in this goddamn schlock place. in his godforsaken toilet of a radio station where they're pretending to be something that they're not, like a bunch of broadcasters. Tomorrow's the day, right? Tomorrow's D-Day. Now, is the stuff arrived in the building yet?
No.
Because I'm sure that once it does get here from San Jose or wherever it's coming from, it's going to take time to install this fancy schmancy, the best in the world phone system. So that'll give another opportunity to keep pushing the date back, pushing it back. Not that George Corso would ever mislead us, you understand. Or Bob DeMuth. Here's a call in Boca. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Neil.
Buenas to you.
Yes to your poll question.
Well, we're not doing the poll question on the air.
And yes to
that goes without saying in the case of you.
I'd like to make some comments about that Amadou Diallo case up in New York.
Yes?
First of all, I'm a retired policeman, just to let you know.
Uh-huh.
And I think the big problem is that since they lowered the standards to become a policeman, it's done a lot. It's brought a lot of, I don't know what the word would be, unqualified people to the police department. And police officers are trained to shoot to kill.
Well, that's great.
That's just a fact of life. Is you don't wound somebody, you shoot to kill.
Shoot to kill.
Shoot them in the leg.
Yeah. after you shot them the first 40 times, shoot them in the leg.
Well, I'm not going to address that because I wasn't there and I don't know what happened. But the adrenaline does get running, and once you pull that trigger one time, you just keep pulling it until you run out of bullets.
Great.
Unfortunately. That's all I have.
Okay, have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks. So the best idea is stay away from cops, okay? Stay there far away. And of course, if they're playing close cops, you ain't got a Chinaman's chance in hell again. A lot of Chinamen in hell based on what I'm hearing today. 5670560 and not doing too well either. Pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of town line is open 877-785-6345. Our usual tepid response here in the beginning of the show, and then of course in the middle of the show it gets really kind of like lukewarm, and then the last hour we like almost every day on the show say, can we possibly make it till 2 o'clock? And somehow we do. Not generally very easily, but somehow we do. Because this town refuses to give back. Now the thing even about the charity. Wouldn't you think the phone lines would be sizzling already with people saying, hey, here's a suggestion for you? But, of course, most people don't really give a crap about where the money goes. Just like that golf tournament. That was a very sad commentary, not only in the lack of responsibility and ethics of this place, which we already knew, but in the fact that nobody out there cares, including most of the people who participated in that event, who were just there to rub shoulders with famous people, or in this case, pseudo-famous people. And then once O.J. arrived, really infamous people. I mean, I'm not talking about being a goody two-shoes, but doesn't anybody in this country have any principles at all?
No.
I mean, stand for anything?
No.
No. Just show me the money. That's what it's all about. That's why, who wants to win $1 million? Who wants to marry a millionaire? Who wants to steal $10 million? That's what it's all about now. It's reduced to just that. How's the market doing, by the way? Notice my Netherlands fund is in the crapper. Oh, brother. Wow. I mean, really bad. 4 minutes before 11 o'clock at 560 WQAM.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Well, which of the 10 contestants will hit the air, sitting directly across from Regis's chair? I suppose no one knows how it goes, so you're directly in the throes. Then if you miss, everybody says he blows. Get the fastest finger and you're on your way. It must feel great to make ABC pay. Just think of the cash. What a stash. Imagine a big old bash. If you pick to play and you go all the way. Use the lifeline for a friend or ask the audience. Use your 50-50 if my friend you're out of sense. 30 million people sitting watching you. What to do? I would just cry boo-hoo. Now here's a tip in case you win on what to wear. Be looking fly, wear a tie, bring extra underwear. Now keep your thinking straight and clear. Remember there's nothing to fear. You could be a brand new millionaire.
It's 11:01 at 560 WQAM. Look at this response here this morning. Pretty weak, right? As usual. Don't disappoint on the last day of February. 5670. And what is it in the vents? Can you smell it in there? It smells like rubbing alcohol.
Oh.
What is that?
How appropriate. They're wallpapering the control room right now as we speak. So if you think that's bad, Imagine it.
So in other words, we have to sit here and smell these noxious fumes.
This is nothing.
I understand that, but in the meantime, more captive audience and the noxious fumes from the wallpapering, whatever that is. It sounds like a good lawsuit to me.
2 days without the AC in here with the vault doors closed.
But it's coming through the vents. It's noxious and unctuous and puke-inducing. Exactly. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. So they're wallpapering. That's good news because that construction project that you've been talking about for the last 60 years, is it done yet?
No.
Are they still working on it? Well, not exactly. They're doing the wallpapering in there. But the painting and the ceiling tiles and the other stuff that's hanging out of the walls and the schmutz, is that all still there? Good. Makes us feel at home. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How are you?
Okay.
Good. I'm a law enforcement officer in Miami, Florida, and I just wanted to comment on the verdict in New York.
Yes, sir.
I think it was a very fair verdict.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say that is because I don't think the prosecution gave the jurors an alternate charge to decide on, a lesser charge. So I think it's
Well, isn't that up to the judge? The judge is supposed to explain that, not the prosecution.
Well, the
That's not how it works.
The prosecution offers it to the judge, and they didn't even do that. So I can't blame the jurors for returning not guilty verdicts on these guys.
In fact, the judge did instruct them that they could come back with a lesser verdict than second-degree murder.
Okay. So if they didn't convict them, what's the big deal with everyone? Why is everyone crying? And
if you can't I have to explain that to you. Because first of all, he was an innocent man. Secondly, he hardly spoke any English. Thirdly, they were in plain clothes. Fourthly, they shot him 41 times, of which 19 were hits, and most of them after he was already down. And you're wondering, what's the big hue and cry about? Don't you understand? People are upset because innocent people aren't supposed to get blown away.
Well, that's why we have a court system.
Yeah.
Obviously, they thought.
Well, how about O.J.? Was that in the criminal trial? Was that the correct verdict?
No, it was not.
Oh, so then how come we have a court system? And have a great day. Isn't it surprising that most of the cops seem to agree with the verdict in that trial? That's surprising? Yeah, it just shocks the hell out of me. I say we call OSHA right now, George. Let's get a hold of them on here. Let's call OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Hazard Administration, or Health, or whatever that is, Health and Hazard. Get them in here, man. The unctuous, noxious fumes are coming through the goddamn vents in here. I'm going to puke in a second. What was that all about?
Nothing.
Oh. I thought maybe it was about the unctuous, noxious fumes. And by the way, line 4 don't work. It sounds like it works, but it works for about there's something screwed up with it. You mark my words.
Trust me when I tell you.
Can you hear it? Yeah, it's screwed up again. Oh, now that stuff is coming heavy duty. Now it's like pouring through the vents. So it's either psychosomatic, now that you told me what it was, or really in reality it's just pouring through there because they're really getting it up to a lather in the other room there before they start slapping it on in the wallpaper too. Oh, that is gruesome, grotesque. Here's a mobile, and this is a nice way to say goodbye to Neil after 24 years. Mobile in Boca, hello.
Hey, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir, okay.
All right. Got a couple quick things. The verdict, that's the American effing way. That's just what happens.
This cop we just had from Miami, Florida, he says he didn't understand what everybody's all bent out of shape about.
That's unbelievable. He says got to explain.
The court system worked this time when the cops got off,
there.
but when O.J. got off, then it did not work, is what he said.
Yeah. Another thing, has Rimmer given you any insight on what the cats are going to do about the rotten D?
Well, now what kind of a question does that mean? Has Rimmer given me any insight? What insight is he going to give me?
I don't know. He might know some inside rumor. He's the rumor mill there.
Yeah. No, I don't even hear any rumors.
No. Okay. Two more things. Could you play shameless request? Could you play 50 Ways to Eat Your Lover? It's been forever and a day since I heard that.
Yeah.
And had an experience last week with an older woman, and all I got to say is anal sex. It's a ritual. Take care, Neil.
Okay. What's he trying to say?
He's an asshole.
Oh, I knew it had something to do with that. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Oh, now it's unacceptable, okay? It is. It's like sitting in the middle of like if somebody was holding up a bottle of turpentine like 2 inches away from your face. Grotesque. Now, how come they couldn't have done this? As a matter of fact, look at this. Is Hank in the building today?
No.
No, he's out at Doral. He's out at Doral doing a show all week long. So they very easily, what is it?
I guess that's why they're doing it. They could do both studios.
What I'm trying to point out to you is they could do it between 2 and 6. When there's nobody broadcasting on the air anywhere in here. All week long they could be doing it between 2 and 6. You follow what I'm saying? Because there's nobody broadcasting in the building between 2 and 6. Thanks a lot, Bluff. 5, 6, 7. If it reaches the point where it becomes where I start getting like sick from it, I've got news for you. Tape time. Tape time. How is this possible? It's amazing the new ways, the unique ways that they come up with to make your life miserable while you're trying to do a goddamn talk show and make them the money and get the spots on the air. Isn't that what we're here for? Get the spots on the air? 5 said, well, even with the tape on, they'll still get the spots on the air, won't they? Yeah. Yeah, so there's, I rest my case. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and two things. Tell me what's going on with all these judges that are bailing out here, with all these, advertisement agencies and all that. How many special interest money goes into these judges' pockets?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. Second family court judge quits the Alien case. Miami-Dade Circuit Judge Michael Chaves, or Chavi, or whatever the hell, Scabies, whatever his name is, he's removed himself from the family court dispute, saying he, too, once hired the political consultant Armando Gutierrez behind a legal effort to stop his return to Cuba.
They're all bailing out?
Is there anybody who's not part of this whole thing in Dade County? No.
Boy, that's incredible.
I think we need Wapner.
Woo. It's just amazing. And, another thing with the Diallo, it's another travesty in justice, just like the O.J. case.
Right.
Just wanted to make that point as the O.J. case in reverse.
Exactly.
Okay, you have a nice day.
And back to you.
Bye-bye.
And I wonder if those 4 cops ever said the N-word. I mean, talk about a juvenile country that doesn't want to grow up. Oh, Mr. Furman, did you ever say nigger, the N-word? No, I never said that. Well, thank God that we have nobody in law enforcement who would ever say nigger or fag or kike or spick or any stuff like that. It's becoming overpowering in here, I'll tell you that right now. I don't know about in your room, but in here it's like...
it's getting there.
It's getting worse by the second. It's like pouring in through the goddamn vents. Unacceptable, Bluff, Greg, Bruce, Bob DeMuth, all you assholes. Unacceptable. 9 minutes after 11 at 560 WQS.
I've got 2 sets of lips.
If you want a president as strong as hell, it's evident, just use your brain. Offer McCain. Here's a guy blindfolded who refused to leave without his crew. Is he insane? Offer McCain. It don't look like his campaign is Wilton. He's a long way from the Hanoi Hilton. Can't get back to taking names, no more political games, I say again. Offer McCain.
Well, if you don't stop using that line about the Hanoi Hilton already, geez, is that getting old or what? Wow. It's 11:15 at 560 WQM, so we just had the good news being called into us, although I'm watching CNN. See, you know what the problem is with CNN, among many other things, many other things, is that they do, it's like MTV. Originally MTV was there to play music videos. Now, do they play any music videos?
No.
Rarely. They got too many goddamn programs on. Bad ones at that. And the same thing with CNN. Originally, it was like all news. Did they do all news? No. They got the Elsa Clinch. I clench my fist when that crap comes on with that style program for a bunch of faggots out there, and showbiz shows, and golf shows, and NBA shows, and now they got another financial show. If I want to watch financial, I turn over to CNBC. Because George tells me that some 6-year-old student in Flint, Michigan just shot and killed or just shot?
6-year-old was killed.
Oh, was killed?
By a fellow student.
By a fellow student in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
Shot dead. All you gun huggers out there, guns don't kill people. Just 6-year-old kids with guns kill people.
We think he's dead.
We think he's dead. And, of course, if they'd ever get off this In the Money show here on CNN, we might find out. So if anybody's got any news on that off the Internet, they could fax it to me, because we're sure not going to get off CNN, are we?
No.
God forbid they should interrupt their financial show here, which we can see the exact same numbers. The NASDAQ's up 100 and the Dow's up 54 points. We can already see that, couldn't we, on CNBC? Yeah. But CNN, because they noticed that CNBC's numbers have been climbing, because all the gay traders and day traders out there got their money invested up to their armpits. and they're watching this stuff round the clock. So this is their attempt to goose up their otherwise weak audience when what's-his-name ain't on.
Loan me $50.
Yeah. 56705. By the way, here's a great story that'll make you feel a little bit better, all you American men out there, and Cuban men, and anybody who's not German. This is the MS. I'm not making this up. This is from Reuters, Berlin. Standard condoms too big for Germans.
Oi!
That's right. Now you understand when they had that complex. You know, it's that small penis complex again.
And all this time we thought it was the Japanese.
It is. Anyway, it says a study has found that the standard European Union size of condom is often too big for a German man, a magazine reported on Sunday. Focus magazine, that's Hocus Pocus Focus, Focus magazine said a study by leading German condom manufacturer Condomi found standard-sized condoms falling off half the men studied.
Oi!
They're falling right off.
Half.
Yeah, 50%.
If you just tie a knot at the end, it doesn't do that.
The average German penis is about 3.5 to 4 millimeters too narrow. That's 0.13 to 0.15 inches too narrow for the standard EN 600 condom, the magazine wrote. How do you like that?
You call that a penis?
The EU set the EN 600 guidelines for rubber condoms in 1996 to establish a uniform standard across Europe. So if only the Germans would put those uniforms back on. And speaking of that, I see that this Nazi, Jörg Haider in Austria, he quit his post, quit his party job.
Aww.
But they say that that's only a ploy because he wants to eventually become the chancellor and Deutschland über alles. And he didn't know no Nazi or no Godfather. So how do you like that? All you German people out there, you got a little teeny tiny penis, all you German guys.
They have pin
pricks.
It just felt like a prick.
And now look at this. Now we got little black bugs. So look at that. We got chinch bugs in here. Or are these chiggers? Oh, don't let no chiggers in this room. I thought once
Roy
left the building, that would be the end of that. See, I don't count Troy Stratford as a chigger. He's just like a light, what would you call it? Like light chocolate, mocha? He's a good guy. I mean, stupid, but a very good guy. So you German guys out there, here we all, like George says, we thought it was look at it, we got bugs flying everywhere in here now. Do we have an exterminator that takes care of this place?
No.
No. That's what we need, speaking of Germans, a good exterminator in this place. And I can tell you right where to start.
Rectum.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Several lines open and waiting for your perusal here this morning. Here's a mobile in Naples. Hello.
Yeah, in the Diallo case, as you mentioned in it, that he didn't speak English. And there are several congressmen who were trying to get a bill that would make English the official language of America. What
does that have to do with it? He's only been here. He was only here for like 5 minutes.
Which brings, that's another problem is immigration.
Yeah, okay, blow it out your ass, you moron. Yeah, that sounds like Enos the penis. Enos the small penis, sure, he must be German. Go away, okay? Go away. I would say come back another day, but in your case, don't. 24 years of being haunted on the air by assholes like him. One-dimensional, that's all he knows from. He didn't speak English. He just got here 10 minutes ago, asshole. You moron. Oh, so he should have got shot as well. So that's the new deal by people like this guy. If you don't speak English, we're going to blow your brains out and your feet and everything else you got, too. Yeah, we got bugs flying around in here now. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Davie. Hello.
Hey, Hanson, how you doing?
Okay.
Listen, I just wanted to give you my comments on that last guy who claimed himself to be a law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
How you got into it with him.
The one in Miami, Florida?
Yeah.
I'm glad he wasn't called from Miami, Ohio. We don't want to besmirch their reputation.
Exactly. First of all, you got to realize you were probably trying to reason with a guy who English was his second language. You're also dealing with a guy who's a law enforcement officer.
So in other words, because he's a Julio, that makes him a bad guy?
Doesn't make him a bad guy, but he's a law enforcement officer who's trying to interpret the law to you, and they're not paid to interpret the law. At most, you're dealing with a guy with a high school education.
How do you know that? How do you know that? Yeah,
it's
amazing to me that you could hear a guy for like a minute and a half on a radio talk show, and then next thing you're going to be telling me how big his penis was. Get out of here, okay? Get out of my face. You elope with Enos the penis, okay? The two of you, get on a bus together and get out of my face. Because you don't agree with somebody, right away he's giving me the whole guy's whole life story. Next he's going to be telling me his parents' names, his grandparents, if they did steal a caboose. 5670560. See, he did the wrong thing, Bluffster, by turning the air down and making it warmer in here. Now it's
Well,
getting...
he can turn the air back up. He just closed the intakes in there. We can crank our air.
It's getting nauseating in here. Nauseating. Maybe it's not because of the air. Maybe it's just because of the fact that stuff stinks so bad. Well, that's the only time that room isn't being used. Well, then why didn't you tell us ahead of time and we could have played a tape? Just like the day that George was ready to do the show, we couldn't do it because the goddamn AC was out and the stuff was sticking the joint out and everybody was swooning in the hallway. This is worse than when they were doing those goddamn, crap tests in the mail. Channel 4. Yeah. Those colorectal tests they were sending through the mail. And the postal employees were swooning because they were leaking. There was a little leakage problem. Yeah. Same crap. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Delray Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, in regards to this case up in New York, and you brought up the O.J. trial, I want to know how come every time the blacks don't get their way, they have to go jumping up and down the streets and having a riot. That's probably
Are they having a riot? Where are they having a riot?
Well, they were jumping up and down the streets in New York, and I know when Rodney King got beat up, they were jumping up and down there. And if
Jumping
O.J.
up and down. They're doing a lot of jumping up and down, aren't they, sir? Those blacks, those niggers, they're doing a lot of jumping up and down. My bigoted, racist friend, you. That's 3 in a row. Let's go for 4. What do you say?
Well, the next call is West Palm.
Oh, there you go.
Even odds.
Yahoo. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's West Palm Beach, like somebody just said. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Miami cop. I'm sorry you have to deal with all those idiots that are calling you.
What else is new? 24 years of it.
Kind of goes with my point. Why don't cops have to go through like a college, like an education for 4 years? Why don't we, have them go through college, maybe get culturized a little bit, so they can deal with other people from other walks of life? Because it's kind of scary. We have this Miami cop calling, and he has, he finds nothing wrong with the fact the guy was shot 41 times.
Yeah, he wants to know what everybody's all been out of shape about.
Maybe if these guys had some education, went to college for 4 years, were well-rounded, had some blacks, some Spanish in their dorm rooms, maybe they wouldn't go and shoot them 41 times.
Yeah.
And I have another point,
But how many college graduates want to, to go and get that kind of a job that pays that kind of money? Teachers and cops, that we don't pay them anything in this country. So what do you expect to get?
It's absolutely right. Teachers should get paid more too. But I have a little Miami cop story. I had gotten free tickets for a Dolphins game with a Winn-Dixie promotional thing, and they were $32. If you buy groceries, they give you tickets. So I went out, I had like 4 tickets. I wasn't using 2 of them. I call up there and I say, can I sell my tickets? They tell me, yeah, you can sell them, but not for what more than they're worth. They were worth $32. So I go up there to the stadium to sell them. I got a cop tell me, if I try to sell those zero face value tickets, he's going to arrest me. And I'm like, I already got okay with the ticket, with the ticket office. But he was throwing his power trip. He wouldn't let me sell the tickets. So I'm like, do you have a problem with me giving them away? He's like, yeah, I do. So I couldn't even give them away.
What do you mean he had a problem with you giving them away? What's the problem? Is it against the law to give your tickets away?
No, he just didn't want me there. He said, he said that he already...
So in other words, he's an asshole is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and it's pretty scary that we got cops in Miami like that, a cop like that just called, and, we got people, that, not worried about it and, not seeing anything wrong with it. That's all I got, Neil.
Okay, have a great day. And he don't want you there. Here's a fax that says turn your TV to MSNBC, which I'm frantically trying to do, but I have no idea what MSNBC is on the small dish because I never watch it on the small dish. It never even dawned on me. Let's see, 355 is CNBC. It must be with that a bunch of channels, isn't it? There's Bloomberg, and there's C-SPAN 2, and C-SPAN 1, and this and that, and a partridge, and there's much music, and a partridge in a pear tree. Can I find MSNBC?
No.
No, I haven't got any idea what number it is. Because evidently they're doing a story about the 6-year-old kid that got shot in school in Flint, Michigan by one of his schoolmates. Because you crazy gun people want to make damn sure that everybody gets their hands on guns and that we are drowning in a sea of guns and shooting and dead people and bodies. You crazy people, you. And I forgot about the American teenagers who were arrested in Germany, speaking of small penises this morning. Did you see that story?
No.
Yeah, they went on the overpass and they killed a woman in her car. They were throwing rocks off the overpass like they used to do in Detroit when I lived there. Yeah, it's a famous American pastime, throwing bowling balls and large objects off the overpass and seeing whose windshield you can penetrate and how many people you can kill down below.
356. Although I can't get it.
Well, that's okay. I don't care if you can get it, okay? And the channel either. Well, there's Cal Ripken on there selling pansies or something. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. It's 1126 at QAM.
Panthers hockey, only on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Holy Mackinac! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil Gott.
Well, would you like to blow away your dog friend's kiss or maybe your wife?
Yes.
Well, go to the convention hall where a licensed center gun was easy to buy. That's right. NRA says everything's fine. Get yourself a gun and have a good time. Well, go buy a gun, throw it in the trunk, pop it top of the get good and drunk. All right. In the mall or a town where there's people all around, he does something up and go up and down. That's right. You know why? NRA says everything's fine. Get yourself a gun and have a good time. Come on, everybody, exercise your right. Ladies, get me playing God, playing God, playing God, playing God, playing God, make me use this life. Well, go teach your son how to use a gun. Show him some down home Christian fun. That's right. Praise the Lord. Maybe pack it in his lunch so things get rough. Leave everybody in a pool of blood. All right. Now your son can shoot like a man because NRA says everything's fine. Get yourself a gun and have a good time. NRA says everything's fine. Get yourself a gun and have a good time.
Hey, listen, money's more important, and the money is still going on here on CNN. And on MSNBC, they interrupted Jane Pauley for about 3 minutes there, and that was the end of that. Oh, here we go, finally.
6-year-old child shot by another student at
suburban Mount Morris Township, that is near Flint, Michigan, and you can get an idea of what the school looks like here. A moment ago we had some pictures that they were evacuating the school. The child who's been shot, taken to the trauma unit at a hospital in Flint, and when we talked to a spokeswoman at the hospital, there you can see the pictures of the evacuation of the school. When we talked to the spokeswoman at the hospital, she could not provide us with some information at this point on the child's condition. So we'll have to wait and hear how the child who's been shot, how they're faring. Initial reports that a first-grade student brought a handgun to school, was showing it off to classmates, and it fired.
Oh.
So that's when they evacuated the school, and then parents have been notified.
How unusual. Isn't that very unusual?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I didn't know the gun was loaded. Little kids playing with guns that just somebody left laying around. See, I'm going to say it again. The parents of those, the owners of those guns, the parents, they should be in jail for a hell of a long time. One hell of a long time. And these bugs. Wait a minute, I got to kill some bugs. Got to kill a chigger. So there you are. Hope that all you gun squeezers out there, all you apologists, all you NRA assholes, I hope you're happy now. Just never stops. Just bodies laying around. We can't be responsible for the irresponsible people. 5670560. We got 16,000 open lines here this morning. This is one farewell to the 24th year on the year in this town. This is exactly the sum up, just like my appearance on Saturday at the Seminole Indian Casino during a geriatric time. Yeah, that must have been the sleepy hour is when they had us in there.
Uh-huh.
Sleepy hour. Here's a mobile in Tequesta. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to talk to you about the cops up in New York again.
Yeah.
I'm a retired New York cop, okay? And I've been listening to you for 2 days, and I really like your show. I like listening to you, but there's just a few things I'd like to get across, okay?
Well, of course, because the retired cops and the present cops, no matter what you say about cops, I'm always wrong. That's right.
No.
Cops never make a mistake.
Neil, I don't think you are wrong. I laugh a lot about when you say things about the Miami cops. I didn't hear that cop earlier. I wasn't in the car.
Yeah.
Anyway, if that guy was a white guy and got shot that night, he still would have been shot. They would have shot him white, black, or whatever color he was.
And?
Neil, you know how that guy cut you off the other day, or he went through the red light and he pissed you off, and you said if you had a shotgun you would have killed him?
Yeah.
Because you were afraid you might have got killed.
But I don't have a shotgun.
No, but if you had one, you would have shot him, right?
Probably not.
Well, you know, you were pissed off.
It's something that you say.
Okay, I understand. Now, Neil, when first of all, they teach cops you can shoot as many rounds into a guy as you want. There's no laws against that. Everyone's uptight how many times they shot him. That has nothing to do with it. It really don't. You're allowed to shoot him.
I hate to break the news to you. Maybe according to your brainwashed mind, it has nothing to do with it.
I'm not brainwashed, Neil.
Just a minute, okay, because the
ahead.
cops aren't supposed to be the judge, jury, and executioner, okay? And that's what they were doing in this situation. They certainly have every. Can I finish without you burping in the middle of it just once?
Go ahead.
They have a right to defend themselves, of course, and if they thought he was pulling a gun, I can understand why they reacted. But at a certain point, when a guy is going down, how many shots need to be fired before you're confident that you're not going to get yourself blown away?
Okay.
I mean, what you're suggesting is that any time the cops suspect you for anything, once they decide to start shooting, they can blow you away. I'm sorry, that's a police state, sir. I'm not willing to endorse that or accept it.
No, that's not. You know, they were scared, and they just kept shooting. They were terrified.
They were terrified of what?
That this guy might have had a gun in his hand.
They were terrified? Maybe they should find a better line of work then if they were terrified.
Of course, but when it hits you
what
like
do you mean,
that...
of course? What does that mean, of course? Let me ask you
maybe
this.
They should
what about the guy? Do you think he might have been terrified?
Of course he was.
Yeah.
And you know what? He made a mistake, too, because he was taking his wallet out to show his ID probably right away so they wouldn't shoot him.
Yeah.
But and they were talking about he was in a doorway. The light bulb was out in that doorway. It was dark.
And
they
were not in uniform. They were plain clothes. He's from a foreign country. He doesn't speak much English or didn't. He's been here a very short period of time. He had no idea what the hell was going on.
Of course he didn't. And they didn't know what he knew either.
Yeah.
They didn't know. Neil, I was shot once, and I was in about 3 shootouts, and you only have a second to decide, does he have a gun or don't he? Am I going to die or is he going to die?
Mm-hmm.
And when one cop started
So that means you got to start firing 41 shots.
Neil, when one cop started shooting, they all started shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they had so many rounds...
And it's amazing to me that it took 4 cops that many shots to make him less dangerous.
Neil, they didn't look at the guy next to them to see how many times he was shooting. You don't even know if the other guy's shooting or not.
Mm-hmm.
You're just shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Each guy didn't know how many cops were shooting at each other, at each guy. I'm sorry. So if you're not shooting, you say, I hope he's shooting. Nobody stops.
I'm not buying it, sir. You can sell it from now until the end of time. I'm not buying it.
I guess you have to be in that circumstance at some time in your life, Neil.
I don't want to be in that circumstance.
No, well, I was in that, and it was the most tragic accident that ever happened.
In addition to which, the person that they were looking for is a serial rapist, not a murderer. I mean, rape obviously is a very serious crime, and obviously the guy's a scumbag that they're looking for. But he wasn't a murderer. It's not as though they thought that they were eliminating somebody who was a threat to everybody's life.
Neil, they saw him pull something out. They thought he had a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Neil,
well, they get nervous, sir. The cops get nervous every time they think they see anybody pull something out. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, unless they're German. 21 before noon at 560 WQM, so we don't have any word. We'll keep on CNN here and see if the 6-year-old kid is going to live or die, assuming that anybody out there would care. Do they care? No. Brings a gun to school. Hey, Tommy, look what I got here. Tommy. Tommy's dead? This is a sickness, a disease, an illness that you will not find any place else in the civilized or uncivilized world. No place else. Where people are arming themselves to the teeth. In Switzerland, where everybody and their brother is a member of the military and they all have guns, are they blowing each other away? No. And even in Israel, where, of course, they like bombs. They prefer bombs on school buses. They're much bigger. But they're all members of the military, including the women. Are they blowing each other away with guns? No. 20 before noon at 560 WQM.
I want to bang you in the butt, Tony.
In the media, I see more trouble with Kathy Lee. Find
so hard to believe. She's denied slavery in her factories. She and husband Gift raised their fist. Said clothing places like that don't exist, but we know better than that. Those sad sacks make her slack. Quit saying there's no sweatshop. Hang your top. Put the dot. I know for work all day they ain't paid squat. Paid squat. Ain't paid squat.
11:45, so we got some good news finally, some unconfirmed reports. Here's a fax that says Kathy Lee Gifford quit the show, the morning show this morning. Whatever the hell the name of that. What's the name of that show? Whatever it is, with Regis and Kathy Lee. Something with today, tomorrow, this week, whatever it is. Oh! Let's hear it if that bitch is off the air. Probably quit just before they were going to blow her ass out anyway. Kathy Lee. God. No talent. Can she sing?
No.
Can she act?
No.
Is she amusing?
No.
Is she entertaining?
No.
Does she look great?
No.
But nevertheless, see, I guess now that Regis has got the clout that he's on that grotesque millionaire show, he probably told that bitch to take a hike, take a good flying. 5670560 pound 560 on the AT&T line. See, if a cop pulls you over if you're speeding and he wants to see your driver's license and registration, and you reach in your wallet to pull out based on this retired cop, this brainwashed ex-cop. The cop can say, oh, gee, I thought it looked like one of those wallet guns to me, and start firing. Now, how many shots would it take to disable you? See, that's the point. Not to blow you away necessarily, but to disable you, to make you not a threat to him anymore. How many times would he have to shoot you before you would be not a threat?
All of them. They're not trained to disable you.
Oh, okay. No, we're just trained to kill you. Now, the reason for all you kids out there, be sure and trust those men in blue. They're your friends. Like that little kid that when they went out the helmet on the bike that day. Remember that? The kid went out in Palm Beach.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the public supported the cop, by the way. Oh yeah, he handcuffed him and kept throwing him down to the ground because he was riding his bicycle without a helmet. I think the cop maybe played too much football without a helmet, like Jerry Ford. Here's a mobile in Coral Gables. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Listen, being the father of two young daughters, that first story about those kids horrifies me. But on another note, I wonder how many thousands of people have been stopped by police officers and have successfully pulled out their wallets without being shot.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a prosecuting attorney, I'm going to depose every New York City police officer and ask that question. I just don't think it routinely happens.
Yeah.
And
well, let's hope. I mean, you say you just don't think. Let's hope it doesn't routinely happen, because listening to these cops and ex-cops that are calling in, evidently they believe that all they got to do is think, just to believe that maybe you might be pulled out of a gun, and bada bing, they can unload on you.
Yeah, no, trust me, there was a touch of sarcasm there. On another note, it's amazing how the New York law enforcement community rallied around these guys, totally blowing this guy away, completely innocent.
Mm-hmm. But doesn't that always happen, though? I mean, if a cop in Poughkeepsie, New York gets killed in the line of duty, then cops come in from like Ishpeming, Michigan, and they drive in from Clearwater and Dallas and all over the country. You know.
I know, but listen to this. We got something going on in North Florida right now, up in Gainesville, where there are 4 corrections officers up for murder charges for allegedly beating this death row double convicted murderer in Stark Penitentiary,
right?
Who, again, allegedly. They beat him up after the inmate said he was going to murder one of the corrections officers.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to bury these guys. They want to bust their balls over this. And the guy's a convicted murderer, and we're making a big damn deal about it. That totally makes sense.
So in other words, because he's a convicted murderer, that means that they got the right to beat him to death? Is that what you're saying, sir?
No, absolutely.
You're not. But that's what you just said.
No, absolutely no, but I'm trying to compare the...
Sir, I hate to break the news to you, but nobody has the right in this country to kill anybody else.
Neil,
I mean, we're not talking about capital punishment. That's the one exception under the law, which is barbaric. But other than that, nobody's got the right to kill anybody for any reason other than self-defense.
No, and I'm sure there are a lot more clandestine things going on up there that we'll never know about.
Yeah.
But it just... I think these guys are entitled to due process, and it doesn't think that they're getting the rallying support that these cops in New York got. And on my last note is the protesters in New York seriously need to watch national television, and take some tips from the Cubans down here in Miami how to successfully protest.
Let's send Elion up there. In fact, get rid of Al Sharpton and send Elion up there.
Why don't you put 1,000 cars in front of Wall Street and that take care of it?
Okay, have a great day. 567. Oh, yeah, but that's always the problem with the dark folks. They always protest and burn down the wrong neighborhoods. You know, they always do it in the wrong spot. They burn down their own neighborhood, and then they protest where, like, a lot of other dark people are. Who gives a crap about that? He's right. If they just go out there and tie up Wall Street for a couple of hours, then you'll see some action. Probably Rudy Giuliani will be out there doing the shooting. Guns and the people who embrace them, scumbags and the people who love them. These are all part of the American effing way, man. Beautiful. It's lovely. Like my mother says, life could be beautiful, but it ain't. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Neil.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing?
Great.
Neil, I never heard your comment regarding the rocker situation. Remember when he badmouthed all those people?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened when Reggie White badmouthed
Sir,
all those?
it's old news. We've already been through that a million times. John Rocker's got every much right to be a bigot as anybody else does. He's not a spokesman for baseball, for the Atlanta Braves, or anybody else, and it's he can say whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, but what happened?
Don't you remember that song by Luther Campbell, As Bigoted as He Wants to Be? That's he can be as much of a redneck bigot as he wants. I couldn't care less.
But how come nobody went wild when Reggie White
Because
did it?
Reggie
Nobody
White, he'd be a
protested
man of the cloth. Don't you understand? He'd be doing it for God, for the Lord.
Oh, he can get away with it that way.
That's
then.
correct. Plus, he's a little on the dark side.
Oh, so because he's black, he can get away with it.
No, because he's black and he'd be a minister.
Oh. Okay, Neil.
Okay, and have a great day. Not to mention that, and of course, a lot of the black athletes who have said grotesque and unacceptable things, but we got this double standard. But why do we have to get into this now? This thing in New York is not a racial case, but America, they love it. They love race. They basically hate each other like poison. The whites hate the blacks, and the blacks hate the whites, and it's never going to change. Never going to change. Birds of a feather, do it together. That's what George W. says. That's why he's against that interracial dating. Or is he for it? Let's see. Are you for it? What's the deal here, George? We can't. Yeah, that was great. Watching him trip all over his tongue. He didn't know what the hell he was saying. Getting redder and redder in the puss, and his face was getting red too. 5670560 #5. Here's John McCain up there on making his big deal. His town hall meeting in Stockton, California. Never met a gun owner he didn't like. Never met a gun that ought to be registered. He says that, there's nothing in the Constitution about cars. See, this is kind of strange to me. A man who thinks that he should be the president of the U.S. says that there's nothing in the Constitution that gives you a right to have a car. Is there anything in the Bible that says you have a right to have a car?
No.
No. How about in the Magna Carta? Did they write about cars in there?
No.
No. I mean, thank God for the Republican Party, baby. Every time you have a feeling that they got a chance to get back in the White House, they come up with like a dead man like Bob Dole, or they're going to come up with a dunderhead like George W., or this guy who, of course, for the moment is fooling a lot of people, but once they see what he's really all about, they'll say, uh-oh, no thanks. And how's Gary Bauer doing? I'd rather take my chances with Papa Bauer than Gary Bauer. And what about that poor what's-her-name? And what about poor Lizzie there on Guiding Light? That's what we ought to be concerned about. And where'd she get all those bruises from? Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm a gun hugger from Miami. What those cops did in New York is unspeakable. I agree with you. I mean, when they were confronted with the situation, they were just, reacting how they were trained. But the truth of the matter is, once the person is stopped, there was no reason why they should have kept firing.
Right.
I mean, I have a concealed weapons permit. They've taught us, you shoot somebody, that person falls. First thing you do after you call 911 is you try to resuscitate them.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, those cops were out to do something else. I mean, there's those people up in New York should have just sent those guys up the river.
Yeah. Well, they did send them up the river, up the Hudson to Albany, and the people in Albany said they're not guilty. Next.
Yeah. So, no, that's all I have to say. And by the way, if those chiggers start dying, the Nazis in the next room are trying to gas you.
Okay. Have a great day. Hey, that's a good point. Something, if the chiggers start, that's an excellent point. We can keep our eye on them. If they start falling off the goddamn ceiling, then we're in deep trouble.
Better than a canary.
Deep crap. That's right. Better than a hummingbird. 567-0560, #560 on the AT&T wireless line. Little kid gets shot. We don't know if he's alive or dead because we got to hear John McCain on CNN.
No shit.
Yeah. But what did he say, lotion? What did he just say? Did you hear that? Boy, talk about stealing other people's material. John McCain just said,
it puts the lotion in the basket.
Nice going, John. Here's a call in Fort Myers. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
That was a good one there. Listen, the one thing got me, that one caller before you took the break, that ex-cop.
Yeah.
They come in and they say how terrified these cops were.
That's what he said.
What I picture is 4, guys bopping down the street with their guns out, ready to go. This guy makes a move. They couldn't wait to jump on him and kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe.
Well, how do you know that?
All of a sudden, they turn them into little, frightened little innocent children.
Mm-hmm.
But
like they were carpenters or something, or plumbers, not trained law enforcement people. They were
terrified.
Very
aggressive.
They were scared to death.
Yes,
I mean,
scared to death, Neil.
Here's a dark guy who's at least 5'6" tall, weighs 140 pounds, whatever the hell he was, 120 pounds.
I know. It's amazing. These ex-cops, they just go into it like, some things are factual. We're not really, as stupid as they want us to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I just picture these guys out there as a vigilante group, and they basically saw the opportunity, jumped on them, 41 shots later.
And then, but the one cop said after he saw that the supposed gun was a wallet, and he said, "Where's the effing gun?" And he realized there wasn't any gun. He leans over and says to the guy who's lying there dying on the sidewalk, "Please don't die. Please don't die."
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be in deep crap.
Yeah, but they can't come after the fact and make up all these stories about we're supposed to believe how, and using the word terrified.
Yeah.
If me and 4 of my buddies were running down the street with a gun and some little guy pulled his wallet out, I terrified would not be the word.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You can't scare me that easy. But, and, as far as you were right, as far as the parents of this kid, ridiculous. My dad had guns in my bedroom since I was growing up. Never loaded, blah, blah, blah. Those parents definitely need to be
Got to be in jail. Have to be in jail.
Definitely.
I'm going to go up there to Michigan and throw their ass in jail if nobody else will do it.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the 6-year-old kid. He's playing with the toy gun, and, but how'd the game go last night, Neil? I missed it. Did the Sabres? Crap.
That's all I can say.
Crap.
It was the same, more of the same old crap.
What was the score?
Deadly. 5-2.
Ooh. That's Dominic Hasek.
4-0 at one point. No, it wasn't Dominic Hasek. It was the Florida Panthers is what it was, not Dominic Hasek.
Well,
5-2.
Same thing applies, Neil. No goal.
Okay, have a great day.
All right.
3 minutes before noon at 560 WQM.
The Neil Rogers Show.
We'll make you
Middays 10 till 2. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
You turd.
Tonight on Fox, what happens when a television network will do anything to get you to watch?
And when we put on the live game of Russian roulette, well, we had to admit that was over the line.
When good networks go bad. Tonight, right after an all-new World's Wackiest Circumcision. Only on Fox.
Yeah, definitely over the line.
12:02 at 560 WQM. Here's one of the great faxes I've ever received. It says, without knowing it, you might have discovered why Jeff Rimmer never pulls out his wallet. He's afraid he's going to get shot. Nice going, Bob. Great fax.
They stunk.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. It was pretty weak. How about those monks?
They stunk.
Them too. How about that defense?
They stunk.
5670560. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
We can tell you that the school has been evacuated, and the children and
Mount
the staff
Morris Township,
across
Michigan.
the street to a church where they're being kept away, and giving parents a chance to catch up with their children and make sure that they are okay and to comfort them. A news conference with police and school officials is scheduled to begin at any moment, and hopefully then, Frank, we'll have some concrete details on exactly what happened.
And police presence noticeable?
Police presence is quite noticeable. They're keeping the public a good distance away. Crime tape is around the scene, and they're trying to keep the scene as clean and secure as they can so they can get accurate evidence.
Ed Garson reporting from Mount Morris Township in Michigan.
Okay, great. Boy, what a response on our poll question today. Well, it's not, it's kind of a silly thing, but nevertheless. And you know what? So far, George is right on the money. Should full nudity be allowed on television in the U.S. is our question today. Yes, 28, no 7. Only 35 votes so far. Pretty weak. That's 80% yes.
Oh!
Right on the money. They're just doing that to make George happy. I mean, I agree with that, but I'm sure that there must be a lot of really prudish assholes out there who would say, oh, no, that's disgusting. The children might see it, or some pervert might see it, or George might see it. Oh, I'm being redundant. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
I just want to make this real short regarding the cop shooting in New York.
Yes.
Okay. Whatever happened to keep your hands where I can see them before you start shooting? You know, the cops don't do that anymore?
Keep your hands where I can see them before I start shooting. Well, first of all, the guy understood very little English, so that might not have helped anyway.
Oh, okay. But at least, you got 4 cops, 1 guy.
Right.
You know, somebody could have, stopped him or, subdued him before they started shooting, right?
You would think so, yeah. You would think so.
Oh, man. What does this world come into? Oh, well, that's all I had to say.
Okay, pal, hang in there. What's not what the world is coming to, it's what American society has already come to a long time ago, and that is a Wild West shootout that we can't get away from. We can't get away from the guns. We can't get away from the shootings. And how anybody could vote for a candidate for any office who says, oh, yeah, well, you've got this absolute right to have guns, and just do whatever the hell you want with them, basically is what they're saying. You cannot regulate them because it says in the Second Amendment, which is a pile of crap anyway. It's not what it says. Do we have a militia?
No.
Do we need a militia?
No.
No, what we need is an end to guns. That's what we need. And the people that squeeze them and hug them and blow each other away with them and let kids run around with them. And just like the guy that called before, oh, yeah, well, he's a gun squeezer, but, it's terrible that their parents should be responsible. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. All the rationalization in the world isn't going to convince me that individuals, that private citizens should have guns. Oh, but then only the scumbags will have guns. Okay, whatever you say. Whatever you say, and that's because the NRA owns lock, stock, and barrel, one of our 2 political parties, and that's one of the reasons that I'm vehemently opposed to any member of that party. Vehemently and unilaterally opposed. I don't care who the hell they are. I don't care if they stole a caboose or the rest of the freight train.
Which party's that?
The gun party. Let's have a gun party. Come on. Here's Weston. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I just want to give you a little bit of my background so you understand where I'm coming from. I moved down here. I retired from Portland, Maine.
Yes, sir.
And we don't have the violence up there that they
well, you don't have any people up there, first of all.
That's correct.
We got about 40 people up there, something like that?
Just about. But what I want to tell you is the hatred and the bigotry is taught. No one's born with it. It's sickening.
Yeah.
What's happening to this country.
Well, what do you mean what's happening? This isn't something new.
No,
it isn't. Just started.
No, it isn't new, but we're no further now than we were 30 years ago.
Right.
It's just that we have laws to protect different issues.
And that's why we need to have those laws, because
That's
if we
right.
didn't have
You
those,
can't do away with
it's just like this. It's just like this crap about hate crimes. We have to have hate crime laws now because if somebody kills you for a special reason because you're a member of whatever group, therefore the punishment has to be worse. Where's the logic in that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, does anybody shoot somebody and kill them because they like them?
No. They shoot them because they hate them.
Yeah, at the moment anyway.
But you take the individual who was shot in New York that the policeman shot. I mean, the bottom line was he fit they put out an all points bulletin. He fit the description, and any black man would have fit the description because that's the way they think. Okay?
The guy was 5'6". He's like a midget.
That's right. It was wrong. What we have is a bunch of Wyatt Earps out there. I don't know how old you are, but I'll give you my age. I'm
old enough.
57, okay?
It's pretty old.
The thing is, in the home, too, people have lost respect for their parents. They've lost respect for the law.
Yeah, and
so what you got out there is the people
and
that
so what's
really
your solution here? Oh, wait a minute, sorry, I have to go. I got to kill a bug here, okay? I'm starting to itch all over now from these goddamn chiggers we got in here. We got a chigger problem here at QAM. Let's get them. Okay? I'm shooting chiggers right now, whether anybody likes it or not. This place is a toilet. This is starting to become like the rat-infested, bug-infested place that I never worked at, thank God, over in Sheridan Street. Because this is a bunch of slobs that run this company. Slobs with a capital S. Just take a look at the walls out here at the schmutz on the goddamn walls. You'd puke your guts out. Stuff hanging from the ceilings. Bugs flying around in here. They got the guy slopping the goddamn wallpaper glue on the wall, and it's coming through the vents here, and we're holishing from it. We're puking our guts out. And these people are broadcasters?
No.
Like my dog is a broadcaster. My little miniature pincher, stick him in front of a goddamn microphone, okay? He's a broadcaster like the one of Beasleys are broadcasters. Bugs flying around in here. How the hell could if you could see where we are? We're on the 3rd floor. We're like in the middle. We're not near a window. We got bugs flying around. Probably trying to escape from the goddamn stench from that wallpaper glue. Well, I sure hope we pay them, by the way. The wallpaper people.
They probably got paid up front.
You think we were? Oh, that's right. Cash only. That's probably why they could get them in here today. Probably had a special. It's that Tuesday special. I don't want to say these people don't pay their bills, but you know what? They don't pay their bills. Well, you know, I can't talk about that other thing, but I can sure tell it the way it is. I'm not making that up. Where'd that money come from that OJ golf tournament, by the way? Anybody seen it yet? Yeah, right. Exactly. 9 minutes after noon at scandal-ridden 560 WQAM.
Basta del chupador.
Pre-dance dinner at Burger King, $9.99. Bottle of cheap wine your older brother picked up for you at the liquor store, $4.95. Cab ride to the dance, $8.50. Putting your hand down the pants of your drunken date, priceless. There are a lot of things money can't buy, but for everything else, there's MasterCard. MasterCard, the official credit card to get laid in the millennium.
All right. 12:14 at 560 WQAM. We got Hank out at Doral doing his show from 2 to 6 this afternoon. The Bookster at 6. Hurricanes and the Panthers. Oh, we're back into that again. Only this is a different Hurricane and Panther. This is the Miami Hurricanes and the Pitt Panthers. With Hurricane basketball, 7 o'clock tonight, Eddie K. after the game. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Oakland Park. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I didn't get a chance to come down and say hi to you at the game last night, but you know the goal that they went upstairs about when they crashed the net and everything?
Yeah.
My wife said they played it back on TV. That goal was gloved in by them, by Buffalo.
Yeah.
She said from the TV camera angle.
Let me ask you a question. What difference did it make?
Yeah, 4-2-5-2, we still stunk the joint out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's disgusting.
It was a no contest. There was never any contest. Buffalo was flying like the wind. They were skating like there was nobody else out there on the ice.
And we were walking with sneakers on.
That's right.
On the ice. I swear, I mean, you got me started in hockey years ago, and I love hockey, but by God, that's not hockey. And he's screaming, we got to get more players. Why? All these players that are out there now are the same ones that we had at the beginning of the year when we got 16 points out of the Capitals, right? Except for, what's his name?
Sir, you're forgetting one thing, and that is that if the goaltending can keep them in the game every game, which Trevor Kidd did play great again last night, but if the goaltending can win them the game, which they've been, you can't depend on that all year long. People have been deluding themselves into believing this is an outstanding team. It's not. There's too many dead spots out there.
I mean, what's with needed?
Including the kid with the long hair, Kavasha, that they're so intent on because he's only 21 years old. I got news for him. When he's 31 years old, he's still going to be a stiff. He still can't play. And then last night we get treated to the big Schwarzer out there, Peter Worrell. He's on the top line. How do you like that? He comes out and starts out with Victor Kozlov and Pavel Bure and gets a bigger hand from the crowd at the opening introduction than Pavel Bure does, and does absolutely nothing in the game. They think, they're going to stick him in front of the net in the power. He's out there in the power play. Did we score on the power play?
No.
It was pathetic.
We fell on the power play. And I talked to Terry Sunday at the NHL breakout. I said, Jesus, do something tomorrow night, will you? Oh, we're going to win. We're going to be, I'm going to change the lines around and this and that. And I was looking at him like, this man is clueless. I'm a roller hockey coach. I coach kids.
You're right. Terry Murray is clueless. I would agree with that.
I mean, like I said, I coach roller hockey.
So what are you whining about? Why are you squealing? What do you want?
I'm upset because I give my.
What are you upset about? Because they're sticking the joint out now? What can I tell you?
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't get upset, but God Almighty.
See, I'm one of those people that goes whether they're winning, whether they're losing. Now, I did leave after the second period last night. We got the hell out of there because it was 4-0, and the game there was 4-1. The game was over, and we knew that. But I mean, I'll show up, but regardless, the fact is they're not playing well. That's all I can tell you. And the fact is that they got a lot of stiffs, too many stiffs on this team.
I can't show up for financial because I got kids and, I mean, you know, but
yeah.
I give my support. And
let me ask you this. How come everybody's always whining and carrying on about they can't afford to go there? And last night, maybe we had 10 or 11,000 people there. Forget that attendance in the paper. That's just tickets sold from season ticket sales. But also, how come the people in the lower bowl, when they're not going to be there, they can't give their tickets to somebody to try to make sure that there's somebody in those seats?
That's how I went. A friend of mine, a guy that lives in his complex, gave me his 2 season tickets last night. I was up in 420. I was happy but I just can't go sometimes. I go when I can. I'm going to try and go tomorrow night, and hopefully, which I doubt will be Toronto. And I'm buying tickets.
I doubt that.
No, well, I don't know. They got to do something, and I don't think it's the players. I think it's
I
under
doubt
coaching.
it, seriously. Okay, have a great day, pal. Calm down.
You too.
Calm down.
Bye.
This guy's getting all psychotic, you know. Just calm down. It's only a game, okay? It's only a game. And if somebody gave you the tickets, what are you getting so wild about? Just relax. Take a deep breath, okay? Like that. Pretend you're one of those old farts, 110. Squeeze your bag a little bit. Take a deep breath, and you'll be okay. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. The out-of-town line, toll-free, 877-785-6345. No more news about the condition of that kid. I mean, not anybody cares here, do they? No, they don't know who it is. See, this business about the right to have guns, I say that every parent in this country has got the right to send their kid to school every day and the right to expect that they'll come home alive. When that right should supersede the right to have guns. And you can take your Second Amendment and your militia, too. They save some room for the militia in there while you're at it. Okay? You probably enjoy it. Here's a call in Miami. Hello.
Neil, hi.
Yes, sir.
I like your show. It's a good show.
It's a great show. It's not a good show, sir. It's a great show. It's a spectacular show. The audience sucks, but the show is great.
You're absolutely correct.
That is right.
Neil, the reason why I called, I wanted to ask you, do you remember the story of there was a black fellow who...
Uncle Remus?
Hi?
Yeah.
There was a black fellow who walked through, it was a Cuban neighborhood or some neighborhood down in Hialeah, and he was shot. They thought at first he had a gun, and then they thought he had a sock, and he was shot. Do you remember what happened to him?
I don't remember the story. I have no idea what story you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that story?
It wasn't.
No, George, I don't remember it.
It was about 5 months ago. They showed it on TV, and then after they realized it was not a gun.
What's a black guy doing in Hialeah, for Christ's sakes?
Well, the same.
I mean,
he has
anybody
the right to go through any neighborhood.
You don't. No, sir. You don't mix your spooks with your spicks. Come on, let's get with it.
Well, I think that's a terrible thing to say. But also,
no, that's a good point. Now, he could have been black. He could have also been Hispanic.
That's true.
We've let a few of those in. They've slipped through the cracks.
But Neil, also.
Oh, did he say crack again? There he goes. You can't say black without saying crack.
The police need to be held at a higher esteem than what they are because...
No kidding.
No kidding. As an example...
No kidding. And let me say it again, sir.
Something?
How come we're not hearing more about the kids since you're talking about Hialeah, about the cops in Hialeah that got busted? The story was all over the TV news yesterday for selling ecstasy to minors, to kids. How come we're not hearing a lot more about that? How come we're not hearing any more about the goddamn cops with that prostitution ring that everybody keeps promising us we're going to hear something about it? Did we hear anything about it?
No. Neil, I agree with you.
When's that case going to come to trial? In 25 maybe?
Uh-huh. Neil, can I say something?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Lately, here in Florida, well, not Florida, but Miami more specifically,
yes,
you hear more stories about the police shooting people because the police felt that they were going to run them over with their automobiles. I mean, why can't the police get out of their way? I mean, why do you have to...
Where are you hearing all these bizarre stories? Where did this story come from?
No, you're constantly hearing someone get
I'm constantly hearing about cops shooting people because they thought they were going to get run over?
That's correct, yeah.
With their radar gun, maybe, yeah. Get out of here. This guy, he's on the jungle juice, this guy. Get out of my face. You're a crazy person. I say support your local police until they blow your brains out. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a call in Lauderhill. Hello.
Neil Rogers?
Speaking.
Yeah, hi. On the shooting in New York.
Yes.
I don't want to...
In New York?
The shootings that were... The police shooting in New York.
Oh, yeah, right, in New York, yeah.
I don't want to confuse you and some of your callers with the facts.
Uh-huh.
The guy that was shot spoke very good English.
No, he did not.
Number one.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did. His mother said so.
His mother said so?
Yes.
How come all during the trial they said he did not?
What? I heard his mother say he spoke very good English.
Okay, your mama.
Speaks. Mm-hmm. And another point, these police have stopped hundreds of people and never shot anybody.
So what does that mean?
The point is, they just picked this guy to shoot? Are you trying to tell me they stopped hundreds and hundreds? They stopped the guy an hour before.
How about all the black kids that they stopped and frisked just because they were black
and
young?
They didn't shoot them.
But how about that? Is that okay? Should a bunch of plainclothes cops be able to come up to you and stop you and frisk you on the street just because of the color of your skin?
No.
So why are you so anxious to defend them, sir?
But because that's
are you an ex-cop? Are you another one of our 8 million ex-cops?
I'm from New York.
You're what?
I'm a New Yorker.
Yeah.
And
Oh, so you must like Rudy Giuliani, too,
That's
huh?
right. And here's the guy
He must
that
be another
saved-
card-carrying
wait a minute,
fascist.
Here's the guy that saved thousands of lives. Less people
By,
are shot.
by taking the hot dog vendors off the street. Now get out of here. Go back to New York. I'll see you on the subway with Bernard Getz. Get out of here, you old fossil, you. See, that's the reason this town is what it is today, is because every time one of our old farts down here bites the bullet, so to speak, we get 10 more come in to replace him. Like this old fart from New York. Sir, let me say it again. If it's so wonderful in New York, if it's so safe, if Rudy Giuliani has made it such a great antiseptic place, then why the hell are you here? What are you doing here? We don't need any more old people here. Let me say it right now. Other than my mother, nobody old is allowed to be here. That means nobody over the age of 75. You're all out. Right now. Out. Bye-bye. See ya. Goodbye. And since we've decided that black people and white people can't get along, one of those groups is going. Now, let's take a poll on that. And that'll be tomorrow's poll question. Who's going, the blacks or the whites? We'll find a very nice place for you. Georgia, they got a lot of cotton up there that's still unpicked. Huh? A lot of noses that are still unpicked. And then you got Bob Barr. There's a guy you could take care of.
No, I think South Carolina would be better.
Don't you think Bob Barr would look good in Lynchburg, Virginia? Don't you think he'd look good up there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, with Jerry Falwell. They make a lovely couple.
Uh-huh.
Like one hanging right next to the other one. Bob Barr, with that little mustache of his. Ever see him and Adolf together?
No.
Same person. Same guy. You think that Hitler actually blew his brains out after WW2? No, he found a fountain of youth. That's still him. Bob Barr in Georgia. That's Adolf. And by the way, speaking of you dark folks, Adolf would love to tenderize your meat. Here's a mobile in Deerfield Beach. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm afraid that was a little first grader, little girl that died.
She died?
By another first grader.
She died. I know it was another first grader who brought the gun to school. I know that.
Yeah.
She died? Where did you hear that?
I heard it on your sister station at the top of the hour.
How come they don't have it on CNN that she died?
I don't know. I really don't.
Okay.
It came across, but that's what it was. I guess George W. said it wouldn't happen in Texas because all school kids are required to carry a gun.
No, it can only happen in church, right? In church or synagogue
Right.
in Texas, because then you can pack your piece.
Exactly.
Thanks for
All right.
Thanks for the good news.
Take care now.
Okay, according to this guy, we got another dead child. I'm watching CNN very carefully here. I don't hear that. I see that Heinrich Himmler resigned in Austria here.
As long as Haider's far-right party makes up half of the country's governing coalition.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Adios. Arrivederci. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Just like that poll we took, the thing with the guns. And it was overwhelmingly that there should be more gun control laws, but we still got those bunch of hard asses out there, the gun squeezers, the guys with the German-like penises, the very small, undersized penises who want to make themselves feel better. Oh, here's the story about the Germany rock throwers.
These are all children of U.S. military personnel.
Children of U.S. military personnel going to jail, killing this woman, throwing this. You should have seen, they just showed the boulder that they threw off the overpass. How do you like that? I hope they fry their ass for murder is what I hope.
How embarrassing.
I hope they put them in whatever is left in Dachau. I hope they take those goddamn kids and put them in a goddamn camp and give them a shower. Crazy, crazy bastards. American lunatics. This is the way American children are raised. In a violent, barbaric society. Loaded with guns, killing people, no value for human life. Everything's a big goddamn joke. Shame on you, America. That's all I can tell you. Shame on you. And where's your passaporte when I need it? That's my piece of advice for all you people with a brain out there. Don't ever let your passport stray too far away. Always keep it in sight. And the passport, too. 26 past noon at 560 WQAM.
Were you fudge packing?
Yo, Wardell, what's up?
Yo, man, what's up?
Listen, I'm gonna talk to you. Let me break something down for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take the rap on my gun charge, man.
Say what?
I say you're gonna take the rap for my gun charge, right? And I'm gonna walk on it. And you're gonna do that for me because you're my boy.
What, you tripping, man? All right.
Back on down. I'm gonna give you this $40,000 pinky ring.
What?
Check it out.
I don't want that.
It's all yours, Wardell, because you the man.
No, I don't want that crap.
It's not crap, man. That's a $40,000 ring. That's Jennifer's ring.
What am I going to do with that?
You do whatever you want with it, man. I'm going to give it right to you because you're going to take the rap from me.
No, man, I ain't doing no crap.
You're my boy, man. You're my boy.
You crazy, man.
All right, here's what I do for you.
All right.
I'm going to give you Jennifer.
What?
I'm going to give you Jennifer, all right? You're my boy.
For like ever?
No, man. know, forever, because you're going to go to prison. But, you know, before you go and all that.
No, man, no.
We'll give you Jennifer and a bird's eye pot pie.
With the mashed potatoes on top?
With the mashed potatoes on top, because you're my boy. You do it, all right?
No, I can't do that, man. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Little peas, little snow peas, little carrots, and that nice chicken broth.
No, man, what are you, crazy? No, not for no Popeye Ring and Jennifer Lopez. You crazy.
All right, man, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm also going to give you the poopy pants book.
Say what?
You got Jennifer, you got the bird's eye pot pie, you got the ring, the little carrots. Don't forget them little carrots. I check me. I throw in Elio's pizza.
What are you talking about? Just forget it, man. Puff, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just putting this thing down.
Puff, go! Yo, man, you almost shot me!
Wow, that never happens to me.
1232 at 560 WQAM. It's just mind-boggling. It's just unbelievable. The guy that calls before about this little girl is dead from the school shooting.
About what is
she is not dead,
there.
or if she is, there must be. He must have gotten a message from the shooting fairy or somebody.
Another school shooting. We are so sad to report.
In addition to which, they're saying that the 6-year-old boy they have in custody is a witness, and then another 6-year-old boy who they haven't apprehended yet is the one that did the shooting, and there's nothing being discussed now about him showing her the gun. In other words, they haven't got any idea what they're talking about. But don't let that stop the media from going bop, 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 bop like that. They haven't got any idea what they're talking about. And then we got this jackass that calls in who heard at the top of the hour on our sister station. Do we have a sister station that does news?
No.
No. Does any station in this company do news?
No.
What a joke that is. That might cost some money. Get serious. You out of your mind? Here's a fax from Joe Costello, who says, thanks for all your help and support. And don't slap it in my face again. That wasn't me, Joe. Believe me. That wasn't me. 567-0560, pound 560. And by the way, Joe, shave your bald spot. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Listen, I was calling in response to the whole hate crime thing you were talking about.
Hate crime, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it funny
is that as opposed to a love crime?
Right on. Hey, man, let me ask you a question. Isn't it funny how only white people seem to be able to commit these hate crimes? And that when two black guys drag a white guy in the back of a...
Okay, thanks. 567. No, I guess that's a good thing. When two white guys drag a black guy and then lynching in Texas, that's a good thing. A crime is a crime is a crime, boys and girls. A murder is a murder is a murder. But, of course, when you want to pander to one particular minority groups, then you say, oh, we have to enact a lot of hate crimes laws, you know. Whether you're pandering to dark folks or Barney Fagg or whoever it is on that given day, you have to endorse all this hate crimes law. It's a bunch of bullcrap. When you murder somebody, guess what? They're dead. Wow. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Where are we going? Oh, way up on top there. I couldn't even see it. Here's Weston. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
In light of all these street thug athletes that get chance after chance after chance.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could rip Joe Rose for the asinine comments he was making this morning. I don't know.
Well, why don't you rip him? Why do I have to rip him for you?
Well, because you're better at it.
Then obviously, or otherwise you'd have the show. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you heard about
what did Joe say?
I like the wee-wee.
Beside that.
Evidently, the basketball coach suspended their top scorer.
Right, that's correct.
For something that he did wrong or whatever.
Right.
Joe Rose went to the game and was ripping the coach because he suspended him.
Don't you understand Joe Rose is a professional jock? Joe Rose is the guy that goes on here and is ripping the woman that Cecil Collins was trying to fondle in 5 o'clock in the morning in her apartment. I mean, Joe Rose is just a jock sniffer. Don't you understand that? He's an ex-jock and a jock lover and jock sniffer who hangs with the boys.
Yeah. All right, that's all my material.
Okay, and have a great day.
Bye.
What do you have to say to that, Joe? You can kiss my rear end. El Paso, baby. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a lady in Miami. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil. How are you?
Okay.
Good. When I first read that story about the cop shooting the African guy.
The African guy? Why
Yeah.
can't we just say the black guy?
Well, he was from Africa.
Yeah.
He wasn't African American. He was really African.
Okay.
And the article said that he squatted down and pointed the wallet like it was a gun You know, like
He didn't point the wallet like it was a gun. Where did you hear that?
That was the first newspaper article in the Miami Herald.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that maybe, real seriously, in his own country, when they had to show wallets, they did the police stand.
They point the wallet at you, yeah.
Right, and the white cops didn't know that this was an African
I think they do that in Nigeria. They point the wallet at you, right?
So
okay, have a great day, sweetheart. What was? Does anybody know what she was saying?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, he pointed the wallet. Have you ever seen anybody do that? They take out the wallet, they point it at you like that.
Hey, you point that fat thing at me.
Yeah. How about the wallet?
I'll shoot you.
567-0560, pound 560. So all you German guys with your skinny penises out there, beware, you've been outed now. How do you like that, huh? Ach du liver. 567-0560, pound. I keep giving these numbers up because tomorrow, of course, is the big day. They're all waiting for tomorrow, aren't they?
No.
Sure they are. 24th anniversary on the air in Miami, March 1st, 2000. What a spectacular day. Is that new phone system going to be here?
No.
I sure doubt it. Because these people, one thing they do, they lie a lot. They lie. I mean, they invented the lie. They know how to lie in ways that nobody ever would dream of. Yeah, it's in the mail. It's on the way. It's got to be hooked up. And George Corso's on vacation again. His car didn't start today. And Bob DeMuth, he just had another brain fart. Or maybe it was we just couldn't afford the chipping charges. Maybe that's what it might have been. You think? Yeah, to get it here. Because these people, just remember what I told you, boys and girls. The wannabes, Lees, cheap, 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 cheap. Just keep saying that to yourself, okay? Cheap, tight, broke, flat ass broke. 22. You got it yet? Have you catching on? Good. 22 before 1 at 560 QAM.
This is 560 QAM.
Love you, baby.
Today I'd like to read a letter that I'm writing to all white people today in the spirit of unity and understanding. Dear white folk, couple of things you ought to know. When I'm born, I'm black. When I grow up, I'm black. When I get sick, I'm black. When I go out in the sun, I'm black. When I go out in the cold, I'm black. When I get scared, I'm black. And when I die, I'm still black. But you, my white man, when you're born, you are pink. When you grow up, you are white. When you get sick, you are green. When you go out in the sun, you go red. And when you get cold, you turn blue. When you get scared, you turn yellow. And the happiest time of my life is when white people die, you turn purple. And you've got the damn nerve to call me colored.
Okay, it's 1244 at 560 WQAM. So what's he trying to say? A Schwarzer's a Schwarzer? Something like that. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. It's like it's a tragic story, but it's like a comedy of errors to see the way the media are covering this shooting north of Flint in Michigan.
It was 940, by the way, that said that the kid was dead.
Well, guess what? She's not. Hate to break the news to you on Stupid Talk. Well, maybe she is, but if it's the case, they must be the only ones that know it. Maybe they got a psychic in there, although I doubt it's a psychic that got burned to death down here yesterday. But at any rate, yeah, she got burned to death by her ex-husband, boyfriend, whatever the hell he was. And then he was inside, but, oh, wait a minute.
In custody, charged with shooting her. According to a press conference which was held just moments ago, one shot was fired. There were 22 students in the classroom, and as you just heard, one child was injured critically. There are more than 400 students who were there at the school. They were evacuated. Parents came to the scene and took them away. While the scene is now safe, the parents of one little girl are having a very difficult time of it, and parents of those other students trying to explain to their children how this could have happened again.
So we've gone from them at first reporting here on MSNBC that it was a kid who took the gun to school to show to a schoolmate, and that it accidentally went off, and the other kid got seriously injured, the girl. Now it's kid is in custody and shot one person, the little girl, and she's in serious condition and still in the hospital, in spite of what they say on Stupid Talk, and they still don't know a goddamn thing. Just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, what the hell can you say about this fantastic coverage?
The media is sick and needs help badly.
Right, but we know that. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Out of time line is waiting on you, desperately waiting, 877-785-6345. Our poll question on our website on neilrogers.com today, should full nudity be allowed on American television? Yes or no? And so far it's running way ahead. In fact, that's going to be our question tomorrow. Should head be allowed on American TV? Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
Man, I tell you what, these cops in New York are just amazing. I'm a police officer here in Dade County, and I tell you, it doesn't take 40 shots to put a person on the ground to
41. Let's be precise.
Well, to subdue them. I mean, one shot, you disable them, you put your handcuffs on, and whatever. I mean, It just amazes me that these guys shot this guy 19 times fatally just to subdue him. It's just totally an outrage.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what our society is coming to, but it just something needs to be done.
Let me ask you, since you're a cop in Dade County, hear any more about that hooker ring down in Kendall?
Actually, I live in Kendall, and I've heard about it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be high school students doing that.
Yeah, but the cops were the ones running the ring.
Oh, exactly. Well, I can't get into detail. I know the cops, but I can't get into detail.
Oh, you do know the cops?
Yeah, I do know the cops.
And was she hot or what?
Oh, she was hot.
Okay, have a great day. 567-0560. What are you smirking about? I mean, that's all anybody cares. It's not I'm the only one that's outraged about that story and thinks it's grotesque and outrageous. Everybody else says, oh, yeah, more power to them. Okay, cops need to get laid like everybody else, right? Cops need a little action, right? In fact, maybe if they take out their stresses onto 16-year-old girls, they wouldn't be shooting and killing so many people. That's right. Maybe if Rudy Giuliani got smart, he'd, open up a little prostitution there back on Times Square, open up some more. See, you notice ever since he closed down all the porno there on Times Square and cleaned it up and make it like Disneyland, Disney World North, since he did that, now all of a sudden you got this spate of shootings up there by cops who are frustrated and aggravated and horny as hell. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. We got 4,000 open lines here, another hour and 12 minutes to go until Hank comes on from Doral. Are we going to make it today? Or am I going to have to write it on my memoirs again on the last day of my 24th year in this town? It was another goddamn bomb. La Bamba. Here's a mobile in West Palm. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Just wanted to let you know Air Force One flew over my head about 10 minutes ago, and Clinton landed safely in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Just wanted to let you know.
Okay, thanks for the good news. Does anybody care?
No.
We're not worried about that. I'm sure he landed safely and we're real happy, okay? Thanks for wasting our time with that crap, sir. Cut the crap. Jesus, God almighty. What the heck kind of a call was that? What would you say about that goddamn freaking call?
Outrageous.
I agree. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Got a 6-year-old girl been shot. She's in critical condition just north of Flint, Michigan, and this guy calls in and tells us Bubba's plane landed okay. Jesus Christ.
This is a bunch of hooey.
Here's a mobile in South Miami. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Neil.
What is it?
Is this Neil?
Yes, it is.
Okay, first-time caller. I've been listening to your show on and off, and the police officers that call in almost justify the action they took.
Mm-hmm. Except for this last guy, except for the last Dade County cop.
Yeah, the
who
last
said the young
Dade
girl
County
was
cop,
very hot.
Yeah, which his voice sounds familiar. I think I know him. The thing is that they really need to
Well,
go
do
after
you know that 16-year-old girl?
No, the cop.
Oh, okay.
It sounds that they have to go after the departments because it's the training. They have to make them accountable. Because all these officers are justifying the fact that they're emptying out their guns.
Yeah.
I mean...
What does that mean?
Well, they have to go after the departments. These guys are being trained to be, aggressive.
So, in other words, the department is responsible for the actions of each individual cop? Is that what you're saying? And not only that, how do you go after the department?
Oh, you go after the state. I mean, they're the ones
state?
training these police officers.
The
Or
state?
go after the city. Go after the city.
Okay, so we're going after the city, the department, the state, and the dog catcher. Is that How about Ed Crotch? A lot of people didn't like him. Should we go after him too? Okay.
The little girl died, by the way.
She did?
Yes.
So it goes to show you, maybe they got the psychic over there at Stupid Talk because the little girl just died. Where'd you get that?
3 different people. Fox News and AP.
Just now, though. She just
Yeah, just now. Well, I mean,
moments ago.
We just found out about it just now.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. 6-year-old girl, parents sent her off to school one day. Is she coming home? Yeah, she's coming home in a box. And you want to know why she's coming home in a box? I'll tell you why she's coming home in a box.
That's the American fucking way.
That's right, because it's a violent, barbaric country where everybody, including little kids now, are running around with guns. Daddy's gun, mommy's gun, big brother's gun, somebody's goddamn guns. And you gun people, you're crazier than a bedbug. And don't even waste your time calling this show, trying to give me a song and a dance, and selling me on your Second Amendment and all this other horse crap, okay? Because civilized people don't want to live in the midst of a whole bunch of lunatics running around with guns and letting their little kids pick up their guns. Like play toys. Of course, I said civilized people, and pardon me for saying that here in America, okay? See, when you come on the air here and you say, oh, in Europe they think we're barbaric, and then the people here, they get very uptight about, how can you say that? That's un-American. That's disgusting. Well, I'm just telling you the way it is. They think we're a bunch of barbarians. Now, of course, if the Germans start talking about those grotesque kids that threw that boulder off the overpass and killed that woman in the car, and if the Germans start calling us barbarians, then we might raise a couple of eyebrows or like scratch our little mustache a little bit. If I were them, I'd just keep drinking that beer and dummy up a little bit. Here's a lady in Aventura. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hi. In regards to the cops in New York.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, yes, 41 shots were fired.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Until you walk in someone's shoes. All right.
What does that mean?
Okay. First of all, only 4 shots went off. When they got there, they identified they were looking for a suspect. That's this gentleman fitted the description. He was in a dark and a dimly lit, corridor.
No, he wasn't. Now, when they first saw him, he walked into the corridor. He wasn't standing in there. And first of all,
in the doorway.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he would have been in a dark, dimly lit corridor, if that would have been where they first saw him, how could they have identified him? He was walking home. They saw him going home, and they thought they misidentified. They thought it was the rape suspect, the serial rapist.
Well, what I'm trying to say to you is that when they were shooting,
yeah.
those bullets were ricocheting off the building, and those police officers...
It's a miracle nobody else got killed.
Exactly. It's a miracle the police officers didn't get killed.
It's a miracle that no bystanders got killed, innocent bystanders.
Yes, them too.
Which
and
is another
children.
reason you shouldn't be just unloading your guns like when there's
No,
all kinds of people around.
You shouldn't be
Because there were a lot of
unloading
witnesses. There were a lot of people around.
Guns. Yes, I am totally against guns.
Yeah. So what's the point?
My son is a police officer in New York.
What a surprise.
Oh, yeah. What a surprise. I know. But I live down here in Florida.
Yeah.
And my son, no, for my health.
Yeah.
And my son, first of all, he doesn't even bring his gun home because he does have children home also.
Mm-hmm.
So his gun stays in his locker in the police station. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two is, when you are confronted,
with a wallet, when you're confronted with a wallet
they did not know. When they
by
identify
a black guy who's 5'6", right?
If a police officer identifies himself and says police,
who has just adopted the combat stance, kind of like a little gorilla there in the doorway.
Police do not move, okay? And you go and you move and you reach for your pocket.
And you're dead.
What would you assume? Would you move to begin with? If a police officer says to you, "Do not move," police, are you going to reach for your pocket?
And what if I didn't understand what they were talking about?
But he did understand.
How do you know that?
He understood English. Come on.
Okay. Well, everybody's got a different report about that. As of yesterday, he didn't speak a lot of English. He was here in the country a short time, and now all of a sudden he's a linguist. I don't know.
Well, there we will never know.
Mm-hmm. Well, we sure won't, because he ain't going to be around to tell us.
No, he won't. Unfortunately, no, he won't. And I pray for those cops because they have to live with themselves for the rest of their lives also.
Well, so Ted Bundy would have had to live with himself for the rest of his life, too. So should we have spared him? Should that have been enough penalty instead of putting him to death and, frying him in the electric chair here in Florida?
You can't talk about a serial killer.
No, but you're suggesting that their punishment is going to be they're going to have to live with it the rest of their lives.
But they were doing their line of duty.
Yeah.
They were hired
and how about
to
a doctor who commits malpractice that butchers somebody up? And he was doing it in the line of duty, wasn't he? Does that mean he shouldn't be punished for it in some way?
Not if they are hired to do in a line of duty. I am sorry. There I have to disagree with you.
So in other words, they're hired to just make their own judgments, and if they make a bad judgment, we just let them free.
They are not free. Their guilt will live with them for the rest of their lives.
Okay, thanks.
They can do no wrong.
Did we hear that before? Her son is a New York cop. Don't you understand? This is the cops and the cop people against the rest of us, with one or two exceptions. That's what it's all about. If you're a cop, if you ever were a cop, if you know a cop, if there's somebody a cop in the family, then whatever cops do, they can do no wrong. It's like doctors who are butchers and whose patients wind up dying because of them. They just had another piece here a few days ago about all these people with these iatrogenic diseases that they get in hospitals from being butchered and given the wrong medication, et cetera, and so on. We have an epidemic of that in this country. But, I mean, if they got a license to practice and they're a doctor, well, they made a mistake. They have to live with those mistakes the rest of their lives. Can't sue them and you can't punish them and can't take away their license because, after all, they're a doctor. Anybody with a uniform, like Darryl Strawberry, for example. There's another good example. He wears a uniform, hopefully with stripes on. Oh, that's right, Yankee pinstripes, I forgot. Sorry, Joe. What's the point? Are we going to convince any of these people? No. The police officer is your friend. He can do no wrong. So put it back in your pocket and the wallet, too.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, buttheads, it's a 1 to 2 hour.
Join the NRA, shoot your gun today. Have yourself some down-home Christian fun. Blow your friends away, we'll back you all the way. Defending your right to own a gun. When you think of all the benefits you're getting, life will be sweeter. Crack your heater, carry a license to be deadly. Come on and join today. It's the American way to be a member of the NRA.
Aim for the knee, aim for the chest, and always aim for the head in case they're wearing a vest. Sharpen your skills, feel more fun. Be there to defend your right to own a gun.
Come on and join today, and you'll be proud to say you're a member of the NRA.
All right, it's 102 at 560 WQM, our big, gigantic 1 and 2 hour. Now let's see what the deal is now.
And hello to you. I'm Natalie Allen. Thanks for joining us today. Well, another Tuesday, another set of primaries in the race for the U.S. presidency.
I thought she was going to say
today there are
another school
Republican
shooting. Got a big smile on her face. So this is not even a lead story on CNN? We got primaries in goddamn Washington State, North Dakota, which has got like 6 people in it, and a redneck place like Virginia. Does anybody care about those besides Bush and McCain? No. And Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson, does anybody else care? No. A bunch of Farbissa and Goyam? Nobody cares, of course. And so the best I can do is the facts that are chronic facts or Jethro facts to me, which is obviously old news that the girl died. But nevertheless, they still don't know what they're talking about. As usual, the media reporting a lot of stuff, shooting before they look, so to speak, shooting from the hip. A 6-year-old girl was shot and killed. If she really, are you positive about that?
All 3 different people.
By a 7-year-old classmate in elementary school this morning. This is in Mount Morris Township, Michigan, which is just north of Flint, kind of like almost over to the thumb. You ever seen Michigan with a big sore thumb? A single shot was fired during a first-grade class at Buell Elementary School. It was not immediately clear if the shooting was accidental or intentional, and here we are now a couple hours later, and does anybody still know? No, because they're too busy showing us Bush. The classmate, a boy, was in custody. King said, let's see, who the hell is King? Police chief. About 22 pupils were inside the classroom when the shot was fired. Crystal Watson, 8, was in her 3rd grade class, said she didn't know anything had happened until she heard sirens. We were told to stay in our class and stay calm, she told the newspaper. A couple of boys were crying, but everyone else was staying calm. About 500 kids attend Buell Elementary in this town, which is near Flint, and some 65 miles northwest of Detroit. We're interested in how the little boy came into possession of the weapon, Genesee County Prosecutor Arthur Bush said. Got Bush on TV, Bush in a thing here.
This hour in Columbus, after which you head south.
No, we don't care about that, Lou. Come on, Lou, let's get with it.
Tour of Central California.
Jesus Christ! We're interested in how the little boy came in possession of the weapon, said Bush. We've had other school children take guns to elementary schools before, but it never went this far. It's a sign of our times when we have a fully armed society that doesn't take its responsibility to secure its weapons seriously. Isn't that exactly what I've been saying? A fully armed society, a bunch of irresponsible assholes, every one of them's got a gun, and now the kids can pick up the gun, anybody and their brother can pick up the gun. 6-year-old kids! This is special! Oh! Remember that slogan, IOD, someplace special for whatever it used to be? We got someplace special for guns. It's called USA, baby. God. And these people are sitting out there like, oh, Clinton's plane landed safely.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of that, she really does need mental help. That bitch on Channel 4. What the hell is her name? Which I keep blocking it out of my mind.
Angela Ray.
Angela Ray. And the sad part of it is she could be pretty good. I mean, she's okay if they got that big tumor off her lip. She looks okay. She's light enough not to scare anybody away. But she's just out of control. There are times when she starts going to that silly cackling routine and just rambling aimlessly, and I think they're going to come in with a goddamn butterfly net and/or a white jacket for that bitch. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Happy anniversary. How are you?
Thank you.
That lady that just called a while back, I find that very funny what she said. She's going to pray for the police officers because they have to live with that the rest of their lives. But the guy's dead.
Yeah, well, he won't have to live with it.
Yeah, I guess not. The people really make me laugh, I tell you.
Don't you understand when you're blinded by your involvement like that? Her son is a New York cop. When you're blinded by your involvement and lack of objectivity, you have to create some kind of rationale. You have to rationalize away why you feel a certain way. So she's done it by saying they're going to have to live with this the rest of their lives. That's their punishment.
Yeah, and that'll last.
Like in The Godfather, when Michael told Carlo, he said, "No, Carlo, you think I'm going to make my grandson an orphan?" He says, "No, you're out of the family business. That's your punishment." Did anybody believe him? No, because as soon as Carlo got in the car, here was Clemenza was in the back seat, and there was Leif Garrett around his neck, and all of a sudden he was dead. You know what I'm saying?
Taking for a ride.
Right.
One other thing, can I get a shameless request?
Possible.
My buddy is leaving, and you played something last week, the Bill Clinton doing that don't impress me much. That was just too hilarious.
You got it.
Thank you.
And have a great day.
You too, Neil.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Rolling along, singing a song, shooting our guns, because it's the American goddamn way. And if anybody in this audience thinks you're ever going to change that, you're whistling Dixie. Oh, sorry, George. Sorry, George W. Should be talking about Dixie again. You can talk about it, just don't sing it. Unless you're in Virginia, or unless you're in South Carolina, they like it a lot. Because all you kids out there, like Don Cherry would say, and when's he going to get off of that crap? All you kids out there, let me tell you right now, the ones that are playing hooky, especially at Weston High, and listening to this show because they love it, and the show too. And look at that, our computer just went out. What the hell was that? What was that?
Oops.
Oh, nice going, George. Quit potchking around with it in the computer too. What was I just saying? Something extremely important. All you kids out there, what? Oh yeah. Guns in America are just like apple pie and Chevrolet.
How could this happen to our young children in this elementary school? Because it's an elementary school, kindergarten through fourth grade, the school superintendent says there really wasn't any of the sort of constant security you might see in a secondary school. Certainly no metal detectors. There are no lockers in the school. The children hang their coats up in a closet in the classroom. They still are not releasing any details as yet as to the circumstances around the shooting.
Well, in that case, we know nothing. There you go for CNN, okay? There's still a big mystery. It's still shrouded. 8 minutes after 1 at 560 WQM. And by the way, where was the Virgin Mary when all this was going on? Was she there?
Uh-huh.
Did she stop it?
No.
No. Now, if what's his name, that football player from St. Louis Rams, the guy that caught the touchdown and won the Super Bowl, that Schwarzer, if he would have been there, he would have just put up his hand and stopped the bullet, just like Stupid Man. That's right. He would have said, Jesus, that hurts.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of the 105th Congress, distinguished guests, my fellow Americans, I have an incomprehensibly large tool. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, how you doing, honey? This is Bill Clinton, the President of the United States, and this is my State of the Women address. I've known a few girls who thought they were pretty hot, but Billy's here to tell you that, girl, you're not. They used to wear makeup and rip away pants, but when they looked at me, they were under my trance. Whoa, you think you're special? Whoa, you think you're something else? So, Paula Jones, you got a new nose. That don't impress me much. Well, you got the brain, but have you got the touch? Now, don't get me wrong, well, I think you're alright, but that will keep me warm in the middle of the night. That don't impress me much. Let's move along, shall we? I think you'll remember this one. She had a tape recorder that she kept on her phone, and after she ate steak, she would bury the bone. She got herself some lipo and a tummy tuck, but she's still as ugly as a hockey puck. Whoa, seems like she's something special. Whoa, seems like she's something else. So Linda Tripp got some surgery. That don't impress me much. Well, you got the brains, but have you got the touch? Now don't get me wrong, yeah, I think you're alright, but that won't keep me warm in the middle of the night. That don't impress me much. Oh, I haven't forgot me, buddy. Oh, yeah, how about this next one? A big, chunky girl with a purple beret. That damn Gap dress nearly put me away. Little secret meetings in my corridor. I could have taught Wilt Chamberlain how to score. Whoa, she thinks she's special. Whoa, she thinks she's something else. So, Monica, you lost 40 pounds. That don't impress me much. Well, you got the brains, but have you got the touch? Now, don't get me wrong, well, I think you're alright, but that won't keep me warm in the middle of the night. That don't impress me much. I've saved the best for last. Well, I've tried to cut the brakes on her car. No offense, but I think I'd rather sleep with Kenneth Starr. When she gives birth, I think her offspring should hatch big old legs and an ass to match. Oh, she thinks she's special. Oh, she thinks she's something else. So, Hillary, you're going to be a senator from New York. That don't impress me much. Well, you got the brains, but have you got the touch? Don't get me wrong, I think you're alright, but that won't keep me warm in the middle of the night. That don't impress me much. Thank you. That is my State of the Women address. I love you.
All right, 117 at 560 WQM. So the information we had earlier about Kathy Lee was correct. Let me say it again. Even on the darkest day, there's always a little silver lining. You just know where to squeeze it. Kathy Lee is retiring.
I just can't stand that.
From that awful show, from Regis and whatever. Kathy Lee Gifford's calling it quits after 11 years as Regis Philbin's sidekick on television's Live with Regis and Kathy Lee. She said on the air this morning she will not be coming back for the 12th year of the syndicated talk show. And everybody in America from coast to coast said, yeah! It's time, she said. It's time. Besides, she's got to go down there and supervise those underpaid gooks, or whatever it was she said, that are sewing all that crap stuff she's peddling. Bye-bye, Kathy Lee, and don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Rectum.
Bitch. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Let me say it again. All these talentless people on TV in the daytime, you want to know why? Because the women of America, most of them, the taste is in there.
Rectum.
That's right. You just axe them. You got your Oprah. I mean, zero. The O in Oprah stands for zero talent. You got that fat, disgusting Rosie O'Donnell. Is she funny?
No.
Is she entertaining?
No.
Is she interesting?
No.
No. Who else you got there in the daytime? Jerry Springer? Professional wrestling for women. That's what that is. For stupid, gullible women who, of course, just like the ones who watch professional wrestling, don't ever tell them that that's contrived and not for real. Because they'll ask you, and it won't be a question.
Ricky Lake.
Ricky, another one. Well, a whole series of all those wannabe shows, you know. Tragic.
Yeah, don't forget Queen Latifah.
Just pathetic. And Christina and all those other shows where they're hitting each other over the head with a fry pan. Just like Mike Lang would say, how much fried chicken can you eat, huh? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Bonita Springs. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes? Okay, great. Good one. Bonita Springs, no less. Here's a lady in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Question. On the one with the Kathy Lee Gifford, reason she's retiring because she can keep an eye on her husband.
Uh-huh. Oh, they're breaking up. She's dumping his ass anyway.
He should dump her ass.
Exactly.
Actually, what?
Oh, I think they're a match made in heaven, if you ask me.
All right.
Wrinkled up old fart with that bitch. I think it's a great match.
You got that right. Also, nudity on TV.
Yes.
They need more men than women.
Okay, I'll buy that. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, starting with Nick from 98 degrees.
Oh!
Yeah. Getting a little bit old for most of the rest of us. 26, Nick. You better get naked on TV real quick. He is a lot better from the chin down.
Uh-huh.
Just like Jessica. See, that's why he's going with Jessica Simpson. That's one thing they have in common. What? Oh, don't give me that look like you wouldn't. Oh, get out of here. You wouldn't do her.
She bugs me.
Really? So you still would do her?
From behind.
In the dark. Yeah, from behind, yeah. There he goes with that again.
Rectum.
5670560, pound 560 on the 18. But I bet you'd rather do Jennifer Lopez from behind. Huh?
I mean, I like the
I've seen elephants in the circus that have smaller asses than Jennifer Lopez.
She's kind of smarmy the more I see her.
I said from behind. She just like Steve Nichols said about Aaron Summers. Yeah, the show sucks, but she's got a great ass.
Rectum.
That's what he said. Something like
hose
that.
her off first.
Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil, guys.
Because she's reeking. Yes, sir.
One thing about these cops in New York, I always thought an officer's job was to serve and protect.
Yeah.
You mentioned this before, and it just started galling at me. If you have 4 officers that are after a rape, a suspected
serial
rape,
rapist, yes.
Right, okay. They followed this guy down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Why confront him in an alleyway? Why not confront him on the street or in an area that is possibly safe? You know, or where it'd be easier for them to apprehend somebody. Why
Well, according, if you follow the story, they were yelling at him to stop and to cut the crap and to and he just kept walking. And of course, you must understand that they were in an unmarked car. They get out, they're plain clothes. There's nothing about them that's and for somebody that just came to this country, maybe they've never even heard of a plainclothes cop. Okay.
Yeah.
So he has no idea who they are. He's in a total state of panic.
Yeah, I mean, 41 shots. That's appalling.
I'll tell you what's appalling is the fact that we have so many people defending it. That's what's appalling.
You're absolutely correct. And then you got this 6-year-old. I mean, this is what goes hand in foot together.
Yeah, that's right.
6-year-old kid. I mean, the parents should be taken out, put on a telephone pole, and just shot to death. I mean, I used to own guns.
Well, let's
so
send him to the Bronx.
I used to own guns. When I had my first kid, I got rid of my guns because kids and guns, period, don't mix.
Yeah.
Irresponsible people and guns definitely do not mix.
That is correct. And you know something? That's the end of the argument because there are so many irresponsible people in America. It is very clear. It's the same with booze. Prohibition didn't work, but you know something? If the majority of people in this country couldn't handle booze and were going out killing people because they were drinking too much, we'd have to go back to prohibition because we'd have total chaos. And it's been shown very clearly that far too many people, a scary number of people in this country, are too irresponsible to have guns. And we got people like John McCain who don't even want to have registration of guns. Don't even want to have registration. You have, according to him, you got a right to have it and do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, I don't even, the Constitution, when it was written back when we were trying to conquer the United States. I don't even want to go there. That's ridiculous. Neil, congratulations on 24 years, and I wish you another 3 years or plus. I hope you stay
another 3 minutes. Okay, listen, say hi to the militia.
All right, buddy.
Okay. Well, the Second Amendment says, and if we would just enforce the laws that we got now and all the other NRA propaganda that we've heard 80 billion times while kids are getting shot, and adults whose lives the last time I checked were supposed to be worth something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, supposedly. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Naples. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Glad to hear you. I've been listening to you.
Glad to be heard.
I've been listening to you for 25 years, since 1976.
Yeah.
I just want to say that, you there?
I'm here, yes.
Okay. Naples, not Naples.
Naples,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Naples. Amsterdam.
Nipples?
Excuse me. Amsterdam.
Yeah, and nipples go together hand in hand.
And Italy, Rome, Italy,
Yeah.
and Toronto.
Yeah.
They are 3 of the major pedophile countries of the world.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yeah, you look it up. It is.
Well, how would you know?
No, because I'm a cop and I know
Yeah.
they are. And
Absolutely
that's why you
not.
go there.
Yeah, right, because I'm doing little kids, right?
Yes, you are. I have pictures of you in Naples.
You probably, you know what you're doing? Probably
walking
yourself
down
raw
the
with
street
pictures.
with a 14-year-old boy.
Naples. He's got pictures of me in Naples. Sir, you are such a demented lunatic. And you know what set him off? Is the story about the cops. Set this guy off. You got pictures. This is the third with the same call, the same bullcrap. And you know who that was? Bruce Beasley. I'm embarrassed for you, Bruce. I really am. The Beasleys, now with these calls. That's how desperate they are. Not going to work, sweetheart. He's got pictures of me with 6-year-old boys walking down the street in Naples, Italy. Of course, I've never been there, but don't confuse him with that. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. Call us when you get some help, okay, pal? Call us back when you get some assistance. And say hi to your family priest, too, while you're at it. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
I have a proposal. Give everybody 1 year to turn in their guns, outlaw guns.
Mm-hmm.
Give them 1 year to turn them in.
Yeah, too late.
If they want to go hunting, let them go and rent a gun at a hunting range.
Why do they have to go hunting?
Well, some people need to hunt.
Why?
But not in the city.
Why do they need to hunt? For what?
Well, that would take care of the NRA.
Isn't that what they were hunting for in the Bronx, was wild game?
No. I think all handguns should be outlawed. All guns, period, should be outlawed,
right.
I think.
Private citizens, unless they're in some kind of a special occupation where they can get a license where they obviously need to have a gun, like a security guard maybe or something like that, and there are many unarmed security guards, as you know, but I mean, if they have some, if there are extenuating circumstances, I can understand that, licensed and heavily regulated. But the idea that the average Joe on the street is responsible to have guns is ludicrous and unacceptable. It's never going to change because, like I said, they got the government lock, stock, and barrel. They got them by the balls.
Yeah, look at Japan or England. I mean, look at the murder rate by guns in those countries. It's
anywhere, any civilized country.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Neil.
Yeah, have a great day. 26 after 1 at 560 QAM.
This is 560 QAM. The first feed, weekday mornings at 6.
I listen to morning and evening.
First thing in the morning, I turn on, I get the scores, I get the weather.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Just tell me what's your problem.
And now, on the campaign trail with George W. Bush. Today, America's candidate addresses the unionized workers at South Carolina's Turbine Town Factory.
Great to be here in Nevada, South Carolina, Nevada. I want to be your president because I can relate to the ignorant blue-collar worker. Don't say that. The ignorant worker all over the world.
Hey, Bush, what do you know about working?
Never have worked a day in my entire life. Hands smooth, silky, palm olive, you're soaking in it. Let's go to the next question.
Yo, man!
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, you gonna legalize marijuana?
Good question. Important. Substantive. Marijuana legalization? No. Absolutely not. Cocaine? Yes. PCP? Heroin? Probably. Barbiturates? Amphetamines? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Now you?
What are you gonna do for the black man?
Thanks for asking. First thing I'd like to do, see me one up close. Not too close, no touching. Perhaps maybe get a what? Can I get a what?
All right, George W. Bush, thank you very much. We gotta go.
Can I get a what?
We gotta go.
On the campaign trail with George W. Bush.
All right. 132 at 560 WQAM. He's the best. Is he the best? Yeah. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Grover Dog Guy.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Okay.
Hey, listen. There's two Luis Miguel concerts coming.
Yeah.
Are they going to be at National or down here at the American?
They're at the American Mickey Mouse Arena in Miami.
Ah.
They wouldn't bring Luis to Broward. There's not enough Julios, I guess, yet.
You going?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Take care. Love your show.
Have a good time. Give Luis a big kiss for me.
Okay.
Okay, right on the lips. 5670560. See, it was just like those assholes, that old grizzled old fart that called, well, you see Carlos Santana, he kissed that Rob Thomas right on the lips. And what does that mean? Doesn't he have a wife, Carlos Santana, and a family? Well, that proves it to me. Doesn't that prove it to me? Well, what difference does it make? Kissed him on the lips. Just like Donny Osmond and who the hell was it? Larry King kissed on the lips.
Only $50.
Right. And Donnie told me, he said, you never smelled breath like that in your life. Here's a mobile in Key Biscayne. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
This is your friend from Piazza La Repubblica.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Neil. You know, I feel very offended by this stupid idiot from Naples. And
yeah.
You can tell him.
Oh, he's a crazy person. He calls us about once every 6 months when they let him out with the same story with the pedophiles, and he's got pictures. Forget about him, sir.
Well, that's why he's
I'll leave it there to you. I'll see you at Piazza della Repubblica, okay? Oh, my God. I'll see you at the Giglio Ristorante. Where's that Restaurantes? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
A couple quick things. I agree with you on most everything you say, not to be a kiss-ass or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But on guns, man, the cat is out of the bag. I don't care what you do. There's 300 million guns floating
Horse
around.
is out of the barn. The cat is out of the bag.
Yeah, I don't know
Fish
how
is out of the kettle.
I don't know how you're going to rein it in now.
You're not.
It's too far
Just
gone.
get the hell out of here while you're still alive. That's my best advice.
Another thing.
Anybody with a passport, use it.
Absolutely.
Use it before you lose it.
I got an 8 and 4-year-old and got rid of my gun about 3 years ago.
How do you like this? People send their little kids, I mean, forget about what age, but the idea 6-year-old kids off to school, and this girl's going to come home in a body bag?
That's mind-boggling.
She's going to come home in a box?
Absolutely. Hey, listen, put a good alarm system in and get a baseball bat. You'll be fine. You know, you don't need a gun. One quick, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Quick thing on these cops. My father-in-law was a cop for 20 years. He retired 2 years early because of the amount of jugheads that become cops. You give a 20-year-old a gun and a badge, and they want to play Barney Badass.
Right.
And look, just look at the cops you see when you see them. They're all jugheads.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone with their little flat-top haircut, Marine kick-ass kind of attitude.
Rednecks.
Absolutely.
Yahoos. I'd say 80% of the cops in the South are yahoos.
And in closing, I'm
fat, disgusting, porky, yahoos.
It's funny how I'm a fiscal kind of Republican, probably a social Democrat, but it's funny how when Bush is questioned about his youth, it's all youthful indiscretions. When I was young, it was a youthful indiscretion.
Oh, yeah, just like don't you remember Henry Hyde? He had youthful indiscretion when he was
when
he was in his 40s, when he broke up the guy's family that lives out there in Weston, in his 40s, youthful indiscretion.
If I want to have a youthful indiscretion and do a line of coke, my ass is sitting in the prison for 10 to 15
That's
years.
Right. That's
Big
correct.
difference. Bush, you're a buffoon. You make me sick. And
okay.
I'm not even proud to be a Republican. I don't know what I am anymore.
Okay.
I'm going to Amsterdam. See ya.
Calm down. Okay, watch out for all the pedophiles over there, by the way. All those little kids molesting adults over there. 5670560, pound 560. It's amazing to me. You think we got it bad here on the East Coast? I think maybe it's good that we're on in Fort Myers because we don't get a lot of calls, too many from over there, but I'm going to tell you. You talk about percentage of the population on the west coast of this state. I mean, we got a few nice people listening, like over in Fort Myers, 1 or 2 in Ports, wherever. But the scummy, smarmy, creepy, old, smelly, toe jam-ridden scumbags on the west coast of this, it's just overrun with them over there. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Speaking of that, here's a call from Fort Myers. I bet it's one of our good people. Hello.
Yeah, I certainly hope so.
Oh, thank God. Sounds like somebody under the age of 100.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
a step in the right direction.
Hey, you know what? I just wanted to make a quick comment. First of all, did we hear about the girl? I haven't been able to be listening, so is she alive? She did.
Well, you know, George said he had 3 calls saying she was dead, but I haven't heard that on my TV yet from CNN.
That's beautiful. Well, anyway, just an absolute avid outdoorsman here, loved to fish, used to love to hunt a lot, had a lot of guns, had a child, decided to get rid of the guns because of just such a thing like this. You know, I know what the Constitution says. I've read it inside and out. I've been up and down the damn thing. Here's the point. Freedom, with freedom comes responsibility.
Right.
Guess what? We don't have responsible people in this country anymore. Now, all you gun squeezers out there, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down because guess what? You're not responsible if your children can get a hold of your guns.
Absolutely correct, sir.
So, on that note, and in closing, I'd like to say, go Panthers. Thank you, Neil. Great job.
Okay. 22 till 2, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. We got the Hank Holberg Show from Doral this afternoon for all you golf people. Anybody like golf?
No.
Oh, I sure hope not. I sure hope not. Golf. You know, it's good exercise, I guess. If you want to go out there, breathe the fresh air, have 20 or 30 beers, make a few friendly bets with your buddies, with your chums, with your pals, with your bunk butt buddies. But is it a sport, golf? No, of course not. Of course not. It's like Parcheesi, you know, it's a game. It's a game, it's a pastime, it's a pursuit. Go out there in their goddamn golf carts. And then, of course, on the tour, what was the one guy's name with the golf cart, the Crip? What was his name? Yeah. Bunch of blue noses. Anyway, Hank's going to be out there on the Blue Monster. Maybe that's why they call it the Blue Monster at Doral, because there are a bunch of blue noses. You think that might be it?
Uh-huh.
With that golf crap. At 6 o'clock, we got Boog Shambi. And then 7 o'clock, we got Hurricane basketball. It's the Hurricanes and the Panthers, but in this case, it's the Miami Hurricanes and the Pitt Panthers. And then Kaplan after the game to tell you the overs and unders. 21 before 2 at 560 WQA.
How young is too young?
All right.
I'm underage. 17. Should be scared of me. 'Cause you could go to jail if you sleep with me. If I free, you end up prison me. She was 25, but she's just a teen. Perfect teen. I bet my lips are free. Daddy called the cops last night. Oh! My breasts are perfect and me because I've had surgery. None of my skirts reach my knees. My butt just hangs right out
Rectum.
of my shorts. She's underage. Jailbait. You should be scared of her. Scared of me? Rolling Stones made her look dynamite. Put aside, she's looking mighty fine. She looks 25, but she's just a teen.
All right, 145 at 560. Let's suspend today's poll question. Eric can pull that off of there, can he? Right away? Yeah, he can do it right away. Eric, we got a new poll question. Who's got the better ass, Britney Spears or Jennifer Lopez? Huh? Because the other one is one-sided anyway, and I knew it would be in this perverted crowd of ours. Our question was, should full nudity be allowed on television? 77 said yes, and only 20 said no. 20 uptight prudes, probably old bags, you know. Probably old fuddy-duddies like that guy in Naples who's trying to find it. Almost 80% said yes, and only 20% said no. So let's get a new question on there, which would be a good poll question that we'll get a lot of response of the next 24 hours. Or 20 hours, whatever, between now and 10 o'clock tomorrow on our NeilRogers.com website. Let's get that on there right away, Eric. Who's got the better ass, Jennifer Lopez or Britney Spears? And we're not talking about face, okay, because obviously Jennifer Lopez, like, you know, it's...
Yeah.
What?
Now, are you talking quality or quantity?
Or it's a subjective thing. It all depends on what you like. Depends on what your thing is. Do you understand what your thing is? What is it?
Miguel votes for Jennifer.
Miguel voted for Jennifer. Okay, and I'll vote for him.
I'll vote for Britney.
And you're voting for Britney. So we're spreading it around. How do you like that? We were there at the Seminole Indian Casino thing in Hollywood on Saturday, and Miguel kept spinning it and spinning it. And the old guys would come out, Will! I have never in my life, I know I'm repeating myself, but why the hell not? It kills some good time. Never seen anything like it. We all hope for good health till we're 110 years old, but I'm going to tell you, it was like the infirmary at Mount Sinai. It was just amazing. 5670560, pound 560
Boy.
On the AT&T wireless line. As we come to the final moments of the final show of my 24th year on the air in Miami. Can you feel the excitement?
No.
You can almost cut it with a goddamn butter knife with your toenail. Can you feel it?
No.
Can you smell it?
No.
Man. 24 years I'm wrapping up today. It's just shocking. It's astonishing. It is really
unbelievable.
That too. In fact, I'd rather play the other one, the original one where he goes
unbelievable.
Yeah, that's even better. Who is that, by the way? That's what's his name, isn't it? The one that says
unbelievable.
Lee Fowler?
No, not Lee Fowler. That's yeah, it's supposed to be Lee Fowler. It's what's his name with the glasses. I forgot his name already. We haven't seen him in so long. Oh, come on.
Tim Schuyler?
Tim Schuyler,
yeah.
right.
Yes.
Well, you know something? Even when he shows up, which is very rare, when I don't recognize him because I see him like once every 5 years. And it's embarrassing because he walks in like I'm supposed to know who he is. Great guy, funny guy.
Unbelievable.
But I don't know him. Here's a mobile in Cocoa Beach. Hello.
Hello, Doctor.
Yes.
Neil. Oh, man. 11 years I've listened to you, Neil. 11 years. Thank you very much. Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for helping me
What a
keep
great moment in my life. Huh? In fact, all the media are here.
No.
It's going to be on the front page of the news tomorrow.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I've heard that song before. Listen, from the bottom of my heart, again, happy anniversary. God knows you helped me keep my sanity for 11 years living in the Banana Republic of Miami. Listen, I want to ask you a quick question. You were getting psychotic about Carlos Santana getting all those Emmys. Help me understand this simple question.
Yeah.
How is it possible this guy never sang one word, and I mean absolutely not one word on that song, and he got all those Grammys? You know, at least Michael Jackson, when he got those Grammys, you know, he had a couple of decent hits. So help me understand, how is it possible a man who doesn't sing one syllable on a song get 8 Grammys?
You know something? That's going to be our poll question tomorrow. I mean, the next day, whenever we get rid of the other one. No, seriously.
Yeah, well, I don't blame
Tomorrow,
him.
our poll question: who made the better music, Carlos Santana or Michael Jackson?
That's right. Listen, personally,
I realize that's a horrible choice, but
we have a
nevertheless.
C?
What?
None of the above?
No, not none of the above. It's just A or B, and if you don't like either one of them, bug off.
I mean, personally, I think Eddie Van Halen can play guitars on Carlos Santana, but that's just my personal opinion. Listen, I just came back from New York driving up and down. I just drove by Jacksonville, and they wanted me to remind the Dolphins that they just scored again.
Okay, see ya. He was doing so well. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Kendall. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
I just wanted to give you an idea about exactly what cops get away with.
A boot?
Was it
Yeah.
that guy that called you before? Was it about was it from Naples? I remember when I was living in Gainesville, unfortunately. Was it they caught a cop out way in the boonies in the swamp with like a 15, 14-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
If any of us get caught like that, we're going to jail. Or at
Well,
least
how about that whore ring down in Kendall that I keep screaming about, and nobody is interested in that story. We can't get any more information about. They were whoring out 16-year-old girls, and the police force were their number one customers from all over Dade County. Every single force, they said, was represented.
I remember when I was in high school, I went to Palmetto. They caught a Pinecrest cop out there with a girl from Palmetto during school hours. I wonder if he got fired. I mean, he probably did, but would any of us get
I heard he became a priest.
And another thing, as far as the Second Amendment, I want my gun just in case some of these cops try and get a little backdoor action in on me. And speaking of backdoor action, I'd rather have Britney Spears than Jennifer Lopez.
All right, okay, have a great day.
All right, man.
There you go. He likes Jennifer Britney Spears' ass
Rectum.
better than Jennifer. See, because one thing about Jennifer, you can't separate her from the rest of her. Now, George has already got the built-in prejudice because she's a Rican, but I would remind you that Britney Spears is from Louisiana. Louisiana.
That's all right. I like redneck girls.
All right. Come on, Britney.
Puckered.
What would you want to do? Oh, you said pucker up is what you said. I thought you said something else, like what you want to do, like pucker up and to give her a big smooch right on the old puss.
Starfish.
56705 Enterprise. Oh, Starfish. 9 minutes before 2 at 560 QAM.
This is 560 QAM.
Oh, God, Neil.
Dear Alanis, I don't know if you remember me, but I was the guy whose house you set on fire last year.
Yes.
God, I miss you, even though you blew up my car, cut all my hair off. I miss you, girl. But one quick question, do you think you could let me know when you might let me out of this pit? No one's fed me for weeks, but I'm not complaining. Don't misunderstand me, 'cause I love you with all my heart. But if you happen
to see my mother. Please let her know I'm not dead yet. Dear Atlantis, I want to tell you that the guy you saw with your best friend, that wasn't me. He might have looked and talked just like me, but that's surely purely coincidental. I was nowhere near that place. I love you too much to look at anyone else. Dear Atlantis, I had a dentist appointment that day, and I was nowhere near the Sheraton Meadowlands Hotel. I would never cheat on somebody who treats me so good and wins all those Grammys, has all that money. Hey, come on, let me out of the pit, will you? Come on.
It's 1:57 at 560 WQAM. Look what I just found. I'm cleaning off my counter here with a bunch of crap I've had laying around. And here's the fax that we got last Friday. It says, I will be at the casino this weekend to meet you. Thanks, Paul from Cameroon. Did Paul from Cameroon show up?
No.
No, he did not. How do you like that? He had a lot of company, but nevertheless, did he show up?
No.
Thank God. In addition to which, he was too young to be in there that day anyway. So here on the inside on that People page, 2A in the Sun Sentinel this morning, here is Anna Konoholia and Pavel Bure. And she's holding a big rose up to his puss or something like that, whatever it is, a pansy. The short whirlwind romance between Florida Panthers superstar Pavel Bure and tennis player Anna Konoholia is boiling over with rumors that the two were engaged over the weekend. Engaged in what? Oh, for now, no one except Bure, 28, and Kornikova, 18, knows for sure whether they're about to tie the knot. And he said, maybe, yeah, but a beep, but a whoop, but something like that. Padamachi Paruski, and he danced away. Sped off on a breakaway down the ice. So maybe we'll do a poll question on that later in the week, too, like which one is prettier, Pavel or Anna. She's pretty good, actually, when you take a look at that picture. She looks okay right there. You can have her, and I'll work on him, although from what I'm hearing. 5670560. What am I giving the numbers out? We got 2 minutes to go. The last 2 minutes. This is mine. Where's the goddamn drum roll? Come on. Where the hell is that stupid drum roll we got in the thing here? Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Man, finally got you. You said some things today that perked me up. I've got a list of things to talk about.
Okay, well, you got about a minute to do it.
I know, real quick.
So where's the list?
You know the guy that called you about the pyramid, buying stock at half price? About a week ago. No? Okay.
No.
Forget that. I'm from Hamtramck, Michigan.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about.
Well, that's that internet.
Something about Rexall?
Yeah, it's an internet thing. It's the Amway process, etc. You know. But anyway, let's leave that. You made a point today. You said, never will we like each other, blacks and whites.
Right. I'm just talking generally speaking.
I know.
No,
not 100%.
Right.
We're talking about in general.
90%.
90%. You're right. Greatest thing I've ever heard, because I feel that way. My question to you is...
You feel what?